That is what I'm talking about. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Goglings, Gogorifics, Gog peoples of the world unite. Welcome, everybody. It is great to see you, and welcome, folks, Goglings, peoples, to episode 400. This is the 400th episode. It is hard for me to believe that I'm saying that, but it is episode 400 of Pen and Pixels. I began many years ago on GOG.com streaming Star Trek 25th anniversary, and if anyone could have told me at the time that I was going to, many years later, be still streaming here 400 episodes in and doing so with Dungeons and Dragons with a bunch of amazing people, I would have said, I can't believe it, but it is really, really awesome. I'm very, very pleased. It's been a wonderful experience. I consider GOG.com's Twitch channel my sister channel, and it's been a joy to be able to have, 266 to go. It's been a joy to have to be with you during doing both video games and for many years now doing a lot of tabletop role-playing as well. And so thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting us through all these times. And I hope you folks are looking forward to Ghosts of Saltmarsh as much as I am today as we go into what I believe is day 25, if I'm not mistaken, of some D&D with GOG as the GOG RPG crew play Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Just a couple of quick reminders. If you haven't done so already, please follow us here on the channel. Please subscribe to us here on GOG.com's Twitch channel because that supports all of us. And please consider clicking through to our individual channels because we have our own Patreon systems and sub-supports and stuff like that, all of which is really awesome. So please consider doing that as well. And thank you, everybody, for being here. It's been a great pleasure to have everyone here, and I am excited for the next group of episodes going forward. We have D&D with GOG going on today. We will be we'll have Talisman Adventures and Ghosts of Saltmarsh next month as well. We will also be finishing up Solasta Palace of Ice. We will be at that point switching over to Tintin, which I believe it's now officially been patched, so I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but I will have a chance to test it before the next time I play, theoretically, Tintin, and then I'll have a chance to see whether or not it's actually functional now, which would be great. So I have my next game set up for the next little while. And when Talisman Adventures comes to an end, it will be on to Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which we will be doing twice a month at that point, which is going to be great. But right now, we're still doing Talisman Adventures and Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and that's going to include this, which we're going to be doing right now. And so I am going to unmute myself in Zoom so the folks know we are ready to go, and then I am going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal to you the one and only Billy Shears, by which I mean in this particular case, wait a minute, people have changed while I was away. I see that pictures have been altered, and therefore I must immediately, without acting as if anything was wrong at all, Just
Hold
switch
still while the DM rearranges your faces.
Brian there, and then we
I,
put
I,
Chris
quick, I quickly ran.
there.
I quickly ran over to Inanda's house just to do this.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
It was
Pi's
very
just
late.
in the sitting room right
You
now.
see, folks, what he doesn't know is we're all actually in the basement of his house. We've just
Hey,
got
I was
different green
sedated
screens.
year
The call is
old.
coming from within the house.
I found the HD toggle in Zoom after 10 years, all right, today.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
For
It's good
the
stuff.
camera feed, so.
It is a great pleasure to have the incredible Ghosts of Saltmarsh crew with us. And I will say, chat, without going into details, first of all, I want to say that I could not think of a better way to welcome in episode 400 of Pen and Pixels than with these amazing people. And then secondly, I will say that we have plans, and we're not going to tell you what they are yet, but just be aware that there are plans afoot for a certain group to be doing some things relating to this campaign and to other things in the future. So if you're like, wait, that's far too vague, you need to tell us more, I agree, and more will be told to you at some indeterminate point in the future. You're just going to have to stay tuned in to find out exactly what it is that I'm talking about, but it will involve these lovely people in some capacity. And with that said, I'm going to let those wonderful people introduce themselves in said capacity, beginning with the person right below me on the stream here, and that is, of course, the amazing and awesome Pyron Jade, who is here with us and is ready to go. Also, chat, without getting into details, we have the walking wounded from everybody. Like, everyone is playing through pain, everyone is fighting through injury, because that's what you do for the team. That's what they chose to do. They said they also wanted to play, and that's why that happened. So Pyron, it's good to see you. I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you're doing all right. And how's life with you, and who are you playing today?
Well, hello, wonderful chat people. I am doing okay. I put my back out this weekend, so I'm in a little bit of pain when I don't shift position from time to time. So if you see me doing things like this and like, I hit a pain point. That's just what happens. Just so you can wonder what happened in detail is I put my back out while puzzling. I'm old. Good luck thinking about what happened. So I am playing Waves Crashing Against Rocks, who's a Kenku, which means she can repeat every sound or piece of conversation she has ever heard. And if she's really, really good at it, she can even make people believe it's not her, but they're actually hearing what they hear. She's also a paladin. So yeah, that's it. And her name, if she would pronounce it, is actually
with the accent on. Just very important
yes,
to get that right.
We call it waves.
To get the emphasis on the right syllable. It's always a great pleasure to have Pyron with us, and the functional soundboard, despite the back injury. We'll try to make you forget the back injury and focus on fun, hopefully, Pyron. But always a pleasure to have Pyron Jade with us, and also a pleasure to have the amazing Good Vibe Peripheral Mike with us right now. Mike, who is doing a whole bunch of different things, including work on, I can officially announce this, doing work on the video for my new Beowulf campaign coming up. Mike is going to be doing that. If you liked the video today, if you're like, wow, this is epic, it's amazing, it's like I'm part of a sea adventure, a coastal adventure of D&D. I wonder who made it possible for me to enjoy that. That's all Mike doing that. Mike, who put that together. So amazing work from Mike on all the video stuff. You should hire him for all your video needs, but also a really awesome guy and a really awesome player. So Mike, how are you doing? How's life in the universe with you, and who are you playing today?
I'm really well, thank you. Aside from avoiding COVID in the house, I don't have it yet, he says, avoiding every living thing under the roof.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm okay. We've been playing GOG's version of Slay the Princess on my channel, so I'm emotionally and fundamentally quizzically broken. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go, because that game altered me. It has changed me and left me a different man. Speaking of being left as a different man, I'm today playing Silvo, our half-elven aberrant mind sorcerer, who has absolutely no idea what's going on with his magic, but he's going to find out one way or another whether or not he can actually control it. Oh, and something that's become a staple on the channel at the moment. I recently got a Twitch for Dummies book, and I can officially say I am, is it pogging right now? I'm so excited. One day I will learn exactly how kids speak on Twitch, and I will be immensely famous for it. So
Hey, Mike, can you look at the author for that book? Who's the author of that book?
Me.
Wait, what? Really? Are you... Oh, so it's So you kind of mocked. I see.
Yes, I bring all my own. I bring all of my own props to the show. Thank you.
I see. I didn't. Okay, I didn't realize because I think there is a streaming for dummies, and I happen to know the guy who was the author for it because he was on a panel at the symposium. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm too poor for that. And you can help out with that by going to my channel and subscribing to it.
There you go. That was all set up, a softball for Mike to do that down the line. Great pleasure to have Mike with us as always, and it's always a great pleasure to have as well Darksaber 2K with us. I should say that it's a good thing, chat, that Darksaber is with us, because Darksaber has been joined by the Knight Rider car. So I just want you to know that there is now Kit sitting in his room, a combination of Kit, HAL 2000 from Space Odyssey, and Skynet, I think basically is what we've been joined by. Saber, how are you doing? How's life in the universe now that you are not the most powerful intellect in your own house? And who are you playing today?
Well, I'm really excited. I've got a new PC, which is how I got bad back, because I accidentally bought a stupid case for it without realizing. But I'm really excited about that. Don't want to waste time talking about it because I'll do that on my stream tomorrow. I'm doing it on Discord. There's places you can talk to me about my new PC. I'll be wearing a sign that just says, "Ask me about
my new PC." It's awesome. It looks pretty awesome. Yeah.
But tonight, I'm really, really excited to be back once again with Marthael Gagoniant, Dwarven Artillerist at your service. Currently trying to figure a way out of this predicament where we may have a little bit of a misunderstanding regarding the nature of the folks we just encountered.
I can't wait to talk about that during the recap. It's always a pleasure to have Saber with us. Thank you for the tag team effort this time from Mike and from Saber, with an assist to Pyron on the tweet as well for getting Moobot and Dashboard and all that stuff ready. So thank you. You're amazing people. And last but certainly not least, welcome to Inanda as well. Inanda, who is also trying to hang in there, walking wounded, managing, has been given all of the things. But I hope that you are doing okay, Inanda, that you're well enough that you'll be able to have your mind distracted from any negative feelings or feelings that you might have. How are you doing? How's life in the universe with you? And who are you playing today?
I will do my level best. I'm in the same boat as Ty. I had a back injury about a week ago. My dad had a fall, had to help pick him up. But I had a flu jab today, so I also feel full of flu. So I do apologize for if I'm slightly foggy today. Flu, Phil, exactly. But yes, things are ticking along. My puppy, who you've met before, you might be able to hear cheering next to me on the floor. She turned 1 today. It was her birthday today.
Happy birthday to River.
She was born on the 28th of November last year, and I got her at 9 weeks. So I've been feeling full of emotional love today. It's been quite lovely.
That's sweet.
Bought her a little doggy cupcake that she had on stream.
Nice.
Or a pup cake, as we called it. And bought a toy that she destroyed in 20 minutes flat. So
outstanding. That's the best kind of gift.
Day.
Yep.
But yes, I am today playing Brine the Bloodthirsty, who's a water genasi fighter pirate. Her heart's in the right place. Her brain doesn't quite catch up with her need to be there for her crew. So hopefully she doesn't get into too deep of water. You excuse the pun.
Indeed. And it's about deep water that we are about to speak. Always a pleasure to have Ananda with us as well. And with no further ado, chat, let me bring you over to a map where we're in the middle of a combat, y'all. And we'll talk about how because you may be thinking to yourself, but Arv, how did they get here? How could that happen? I'm glad you asked.
I'd like to remind the DM we are currently out of initiative. That was said.
That is the case. Yes, you are out of initiative. There's just an alarm bell springing, but just like that's all. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should say a potential combat is what there is, so to speak. Because in our last session, the crew of this intrepid crew here that we have, these happy few, have come down to this place for 2 reasons. Number one, there is what would be best described as the salvage operation that they have been tasked to try to find of this ship called the Emperor of the Waves, which was supposedly sunk and lost with all hands, but has now been allegedly seen as a ghost ghost ship floating around on the coast. And you might say to yourself, listen, they've got other things to worry about. What about the oncoming combat involving the Sahuagin? What about the possible invasion? What about the strange political intrigue going on in the town of Saltmarsh? All of those things matter, chat, but one of the things that matters the most is getting some support from the artifact that could be maybe found on the bridge of the deck of this ship of the Emperor of the Waves if all goes well. And you might say to yourself, but what does that have to do with being down in this cave? I'm glad you asked that as well, because the other problem that they were having at the same time was supposedly the restless dead who had been coming up from the bottom and rising up through the silver mines near the town, who were also causing issues. And so the crew made the decision that they would collectively go and try to find out what happened here. What seems to have happened here, at least in part, is there are indeed undead creatures, but there are also creatures that are the dead people that they found here, and they found a number of them, seem to be infected by some strange fungal disease that is causing them to basically be infested by spores and die thereby, and perhaps even possibly control mines down here as well. And so the party, after having dealt with a number of strange creatures down here, seeing a couple of these bodies full of fungal spores, etc., followed the deck. Oh, and also having fought a huge thing called a crabigator, I need to mention that too, made their way all around on the decks around this water up to this northwestern portion of the place that you see here. Opening the door, they discovered people that were dressed very much like buccaneers. And the party was like, listen, we have our very own buccaneer and Brian the Bloodthirsty. We know them when we see them. And they got into a little bit of a fight with them, at which point it started to dawn on them, based on the reactions that they were getting, that maybe these were not buccaneers, but might have been advance guards for the rest of the mine, maybe. It could have been something that wasn't exactly what they thought. And so they made the decision that they had to figure out a way to handle things, and so closed the door, having been pacified. I think it was Silvo who pacified them accidentally, and also pacified Brian at the same time by accident. The door,
and a grease trap.
And a grease trap, yes, thank you. The door, that's right, I forgot about that part. And then the door was then closed upon them, as they say in Hamlet, let the door be shut on them, so they maybe play the fool nowhere but in their own house. And right as that happened, the party heard dong dong, dong dong, dong dong, this alarm bell going off. So as we rejoin the party, Brine is standing in front of the door, I think having managed to throw off her pacified state. Behind the door are two people that are pacified and thus confused and don't know why they were fighting in the first place, and one very non-confused, non-pacified person who's shouting at them and asking what the hell is their problem. Meanwhile, we have Waves, Morthwill, and Silvo standing outside this room, wondering whether they may have made a terrible mistake and needing to figure out some way to calm the guards, stop the alarm, and figure out how to A, get to the ghost ship, if it is such a ghost ship, and B, finish up solving what is going on down in these mines. And with that said, I am going to fire up a little bit of music and sound, a little bit of sound effects here, and I'm going to hand things back over to the party. What would you folks like to do?
Waves. Try to get Waves' attention.
Yep, Waves looks at you.
You can do that thing you do where you recall conversations, right?
I nod.
Can you recall the conversation we had with Lady Copperlux, who gave us permission to come here?
I nod.
You were, well, you were there for it, so.
Yeah, I wasn't.
All right. Wait for the go. So, I'm gonna try. Let everyone know quickly if we've got time.
Yeah, you should be able to. I mean, like, right now, Brian is standing in front of the door, so you could basically, Brian could, hold it shut, leave it open. I mean, that's kind of how, you want to handle it.
I just want to shout out to them. Would they hear? Well, I don't know if they'd hear me from here, so I'm just going to shout out. All right, lads, think we got a misunderstanding here. We've been requested to investigate the mine on behalf of Lady Copperlux, and I nod to Waves.
Okay, I repeat what I heard loudly, as loud as I can.
So there is a pause. I would like Waves to make a deception check for me, please. I'm going to do this at advantage because this is Waves' like wheelhouse, basically repeating things. So this is going to be done at advantage, but we do need to see if you can deceive these people.
Come on, you got this.
Who may be less inclined to do so after having been attacked by this exact same group. But
We're
figure
trying
that
to
out.
deceive them with the exact words and voice that happened as it happened.
Yeah. Oh,
20?
yeah. 20 looks promising. This is an opposed roll, so sorry, I'm just capturing that dice roller a little bit more. Give me a second. No, it's wrong. There's that. Go like that. Go up like this.
Oh, I forgot to change my image. It's still on Regina. We'll do that in a moment.
Okay.
That Regina Augusta III.
Yes, you have heard
The
of her.
Regina Augusta. I mean, listen.
The Regina Augusta III.
Who hasn't? I mean,
Is
okay.
she a pixie?
Tooth Fairy.
A tooth fairy.
Oh God.
I've heard no trees are safe while she's around.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. So if I pull out this, there we go. Let's do this.
We can see on stream what you're doing. It's in the little corner.
Yeah, in the bottom right, it's showing you. Can't see much, but there is a little window into what you're looking at.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, should be switched back now. You didn't see it
That's
on
too
your
nice.
own websites though, did you? You shouldn't have seen it on that. You didn't see
No.
it
Not
on
on
your
roll
okay.
20, no.
No,
Lovely.
not roll 20.
No.
Good. Okay, so yes, right. Good. Okay, so if I go to this and I pop that out.
Sally yelling, kill if you love the gods. No,
No.
killing is what we're trying to avoid right now. We're all a bit beaten up and chewed on.
A few episodes back, we discovered diplomacy, and we were all really fascinated by it and liked it a lot, so we're completely into this now.
I believe the phenomenon is referred to as positive reinforcement.
Okay.
All
So-
we did was knock on a door and not die. I don't know.
It's changed the course of the campaign, really.
Okay. So you hear from behind the door, why'd you attack us then?
Honestly, lads, we were as surprised to see you as you was. We've had a bit of a rough time of it. You've got some crocodile octopus thingies that were camped out here, spider monsters, and some mushroom corpses. You're the first humanoids that are trying to bite our faces off we've seen since we got here, frankly.
And so there's a pause, and then one says, all right, but what'd you do to these two idiots? And you hear them being like, what are they talking about? Like there's two, like apparently he's like, they're just looking at each other and occasionally like giggling. What'd you do to them?
Silver appears round. He's like, that might have been me. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's fatal.
I threw the grease at you, but it's just regular old slipping grease.
and he sort of nods, or well, he doesn't nod. You hear sort of a pause, and then, well, all right. If you are who you say you are, then I'm going to ask one of you to at least just lay your weapons down while we just open the door, just as a sign of good faith. I'll tell these other you get out of the way. No, get behind me. Well, never mind what you don't understand. Just walk behind. It'll all make a sense later on. They're better when they're drunk. So now, I guess the question is one of you going to do that?
Well, both of us definitely going to stow his shield and just be like, hands up. Not like surrender, but just out like that. Just
Okay.
out to his sides. Just-
Are you switching with Brian, or is Brian doing the same thing?
Well, I'm waiting to see how everyone else reacts.
I haven't got a weapon.
But
so-
I'm just... You are the weapon.
Yeah, you are the weapon, exactly.
I'm going to give Morthwell the side eye, and then because I've got my swords out, I'm not going to sheath them. I'm going to put them down as they've requested, but I'm going to put them close within grabbing distance.
Okay. Waves, what about you?
Waves looks at Morthwell because they're not really sure if. They said only one person has to put down the weapons, right?
They did. They said one person standing in front of the door is a sign of good faith.
We'll
Well.
switch places then.
No, I'm not done with it with my
No.
weapons down.
No. If they want, well, I'll be at the front without weapons.
Ah,
You can be
okay.
behind me, watching
With
the back. I
weapons?
think I think they'll at least appreciate that.
So wait, is the image that I'm getting that one of you's not going to have weapons and everyone else bristling with weapons is like right behind them?
No, I'm gonna sheath my weapon.
I'm not.
Except
I'm
for
gonna
you,
sheath
Silva.
my weapon, and I'm just gonna sheath my weapon, and I'm just gonna be a big fluffy bird behind the
Okay.
dwarf.
Okay, because I was going to say we have to have a discussion about good faith about what that actually means.
But I'm gonna sheath my weapon and just stand there looking birdie.
Okay. So is Morthwill and Brian, are you switching places then for this? Or Brian, I know you have your swords to the ground, so it's up to you.
I think if me or Silvo should be at the front, weapons free, or me and Silvo, and then
Yes,
Okay.
that sounds fine.
yeah,
that sounds
Silvo
fair.
behind Silvo, get you behind me. We should have as many unarmed hands at the front as possible.
All right.
I'm sure they'll understand people hanging back. They'll understand we're suspicious of them as we are, as they are. That I hope.
Okay.
In which case,
If
when
not, I'll duck real quick and you can stab him in the face. I did not say that out loud. I whispered that.
in which case, I'm gonna as I go to put my swords on the ground and see Morthwill and Silvo kind of sidle past me. I use that as an excuse just to tighten my boots and then pick my swords up and put them away, but on my back.
Okay. All right. So having done that, yeah, I was going to say that actually. So Morthwill, unless you want to swim, you folks are going to have to probably switch up where one person's in front. So
yeah, so I should probably be where Brian is right now.
And then Brian
That
wants to be
makes-
there. Okay.
All
All right.
Yeah, I guess looks like it's one person wide.
So when the door opens again, you can see that we have. Whoops. Sorry, I
Again,
accidentally moved somebody.
like-
You just see Silvo as well, just peeking around the corner, just like, hello, unarmed. Hello.
So they open the door, they see Silvo, they look down, they see me.
hello,
They're
unarmed.
just like, aha. Thank you for the tier 1 sub, Mikios. 77 months. Happy D&D Day. Yes, indeed.
Happy day indeed.
Happy D&D Day. It's the best of
Yes,
days.
indeed. It's good to be back.
Okay, so you see the one who's in front. The two sort of dazed-looking ones are behind them. And she sort of looks at you and sort of nods and then says, all right, so you say that you've got this, and then she pauses. She says, oh, wait a minute. How exactly did you make the sound? Where's our boss? You said that you said that our boss sent us. Where are they? He kind of looks,
Hey.
peers behind you.
I point at Waves and I go, hey, my friend over there. They have a remarkable knack for reproducing anything they hear exactly as it was. At least that's been my experience with them.
And one of the
I
confused ones.
I look at them, and then I repeat exactly what Morthwill said in Morthwill's voice.
And so one of the confused one looks over the shoulders like, oh, is that a parrot? And the one in front's like, no, it's not a parrot. It'd be quiet, you know. And they're like, that is a parrot. See, it's what I'm saying. You know, no, it's not a parrot. It's too big to be a parrot. It's got a blooming tricornet. Just shut up. Listen, let me do this. So he comes and he sort of looks at Morthwill again and then says, all right, so you got someone who's either killed our boss and recorded them or actually spoke to the boss and came down here. We're the advance guard. We don't get much word from the others except, well, we've been holed up here for a while because of everything going down in the rest of the place. All right, so who are you then, and who's the rest of these peoples?
Your boss is very safe. She's the one paying us.
All right, well, that's good to hear. If the boss sent her down to rescue us, is that why they sent you down then?
They didn't mention anything. They said the mine had been evacuated and they'd liked us to investigate the rumors to find out why production stopped. You know how it is.
Evacuated. I like that. Evacuated. Do you hear that? I like evacuations. You don't. And again, he's just like, she says. And she kind of turns back and says, never mind these two. Right, so who are you?
I'm Morthwill at your service. I've been in town a couple of 100 years now myself, tinkerer. Maybe you've seen me around, maybe you haven't. I kind of keep to myself until recently.
You look kind of familiar, though. We spend most of our time down here, I'd have to say. My name's Kelsa, and they're... And you hear them like, Kelsa's a good name. And everyone's like, I'll introduce them when they're not idiots. All right, who's this one next to you, then? The one who's looking around... Wait a minute. You
Hello.
did something, and then they all became idiots. Are you responsible? And he kind of points... She points at you.
Technically, yes. Though I'm reasonably certain it's not fatal. They seem very happy. I mean, I don't fully understand what happened.
I
but
think
they
I'll go
seem
for a
very
walk.
happy.
No, you're not fooling anybody. Stop.
Mothra just sort of looks and goes, "Would either of you like a bit of jerky?"
Sure. Did he call me a jerky? No, he's saying you
No,
won't.
no, I hold out a piece of jerky from the bag of holding.
And the one kind of looks at it, and like
I
sort
take a
of
bite of some.
and sort of like takes a slight bite, and then is like, "Oh, it's not bad. You should try it. Here, let me pull off a piece." And then they begin like uselessly to tug on the jerky, and while they're doing that,
I wish I had a Chinese finger trap right now.
See, they seem happy.
while
They
they're
don't
doing
seem
that, the
bad.
one non-pacified one is like, all right, so that's you. And then who's this one? But wait a minute, it kind of peers at you, Brian. I think I know you. Are you Brian? Is that your name?
I tip my hat. Yes, that is my name. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh, I've heard of you, but you were a scourge of the coast. What exactly are you doing down here? I only know about you because I used to serve on a ship that one of your peoples took out once, and they talked about your name. I swore off ship travel, and I came here, where I've been working ever since. What are you doing here with them? And you can see slight amount of distrust, I think would be fair to say, on the face of this person, Brian.
I have taken my leave of the sea, but as you can see, I'm not very far from it. I have made my acquaintance with my crew, and we are currently investigating some shenanigans that have been taking place around Saltmarsh. We were asked very kindly to come and investigate what's been happening in the mines, and I think that you can agree that there are definitely things happening down here that I can't immediately explain, but are probably not healthy for the miners that frequent here. So we are planning to report back to, is it Copperlux?
2 months removed with a bunch of Tolkien names flying in my head.
Manistrade
Let me double check. Say again.
Manistrade
Manistrade
Yes,
Copperlock.
yes,
There
yes,
we
that's
go.
right. Yes, thank you.
We have been asked to investigate, and as your fair mistress, you would probably agree that she wouldn't just send anyone down here.
And kind of nods. Well, probably not. I suppose you can trust her to actually send people down when she did so. We thought we'd been forgotten about, to be honest with you. But it's good to know that they've gotten some people down here. If they are able to bring you to heal, well, and she kind of chuckles, and she says, and then there's you, and looks behind you at Waves, and says, I know that you, not you directly, but I've heard of you. You're one of them Kenku, right?
Why not?
And she says, "Oh, you lot are always impressive. I've always thought it was really neat that you could copy them over." "Yeah, I always wanted a parrot too." "Shut up, you." And says, "I'm sorry, you'll have to ignore them. And you can blame your friend for making them into idiots. Look, how long does this last, by the
Sorry.
way?
Couldn't
Are
even
they going to
tell
be
you.
idiots forever?"
No, probably not.
And-
They may even come back better. Who knows? I'm not sure. This could be a weird reversey thing.
And she kind of like, "I hope so. Couldn't be much worse." And then she says, "Well, right. Now that we know who you are, suppose you better come into the guard room and we can tell you a bit of what we know. And you should tell us what you know. I haven't been down there for at least, I would say, 4 or 5 days. We got sort of driven in here. There's been a lot going on." And she turns around. And again, this is a small room, but it's big enough that you could probably fit, yourselves in it, as long as you sort of position yourselves. She, who introduced herself as Kelsa, just sort of sends the aforementioned idiots who go over behind her to the other side of the room. So you folks can come in if you wish here.
I will
if you
come
wish to.
in. Trying to find, because I'm a dwarf, I'm just trying to see if there's like I was probably going to go that corner, but I guess I'll go here because I can lean against the wall and be
I'm
dwarf-sized.
Okay,
It's
yep.
not less in the way.
Silver walks in and goes, "Ooh, you are not joking. You have been in here for a while, haven't you?" Ooh.
You get used to it eventually.
Ooh.
There's a
Hey,
lot worse
barely
smelling
room to
things.
Barely enough room to swing a gnome.
Ooh.
That's right. And, well, if it were up to me, anything that could swing us through that door and get us out of here would have been better. All right, so before we tell you what happened, first you tell us, did you clear out some space? Is it safe to go? Can we leave?
We think so. There may still be one of those crocodile thingies out there.
The Crabblegators. Yeah, we heard of them, although they didn't really come up to bother us until everything else went wrong.
Aye.
But what about, and she lowers her voice, what about the dead, though?
There may be some fungal creatures behind a couple of the doors.
They've got mushrooms growing on them, but none of the dead that we found with mushrooms on them have been doing much. We did find a couple of Spider-Man things. Didn't get any pictures of that though.
Aye, that's talking about them ettercaps is what them are. We've had some of them before, but they never got this aggressive until recently. Well, I suppose I'd best tell you what's going on down here to the best we can.
A time frame of events would be very useful right now.
Also, I should mention that when they went in the room, they shut off this alarm bell. And they say, the lead one says, not that it would have mattered anyway. The alarm doesn't bring anyone down here. We've tried. Except, well, it might have attracted the attention of that Crabblegator, but we'll worry about that problem when we leave. And she says, so it's like this. The foreman basically came here about, I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, broke through into a new portion of the mine. And things all seemed to be going fine up until then. We're getting some silver out and all that. It's not the easiest thing to do, what with this water around here and all, but we managed to make it. And so far, we've managed to find some good things as far as minerals, too. Some gemstones and things like that, but no large veins, really. But we broke through into a new section where it looked like it was going to be rich, and all of us were going to make a lot of money in the end and be rich off of it. Except all the trouble happened at that point. As soon as we broke through, within a day afterwards, we started to see strange things happen. One of them that went down was Alec. One day he just started choking and spitting up something weird, and he falls to the ground, and then when we look at him, he's got these weird mushrooms growing out of his skin. It was one of the most scary things I ever saw, but we thought maybe that was just a disease. Got to be careful about spores down here. Then there were 2 more that went in a couple of days after that, but that wasn't the worst. After that, it was when the dead themselves started to show up. First of all, some of them with those mushrooms stood up and started walking, I tell you, sure as I breathe. It was one of the most scary things I'd ever seen in my life. Imagine a bud that owes money to you coming up from the grave and walking towards you with mushrooms growing out of them, looking for all the world like they want to bring you back to hell with them. Well, that hasn't been a pleasant experience, and we've had to kill some of our own. Not on purpose, but there was nothing we could do if we wanted to stay alive. The foreman got more and more, well, sort of, I guess reclusive might be the way you describe it. Didn't want to see anyone. Ordered us to make sure we just burned the bodies if we found them. And, well, we're part of the advanced guard, so I can tell you that we saw a lot of them ourselves. I saw skeletons and zombies walking right up from the water, pure as you please, right through this spot, right past our viewing station. And he kind of points to there's like an arrow slit type thing that's out of the wall of the room, the wall that you're leaning against, actually, Morthwill. So you can kind of see on the water past them. And he says, more and more of them have been coming, and they've all been coming from the outside. I don't know where, but at night, if you listen, you can hear a howling coming, and it's coming from the ocean not far from here. If I had to guess, I'd say the undead are walking from wherever that is out there, a ship probably, down through the ocean and into the caves. But anyway, I don't know much more details about that because I haven't been able to leave there. Well, about 2-3 days ago, the foreman, who barely gets seen anymore, comes all hot. No, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, 5 days. I beg your pardon. 5 days ago, comes in all hot and bothered and says, Kelsa, we finally got it made. And he was waving around something, some letter that he got, thinking that he'd achieved something that mattered. I don't know what it was. He said he had found some strange place, factory or facility or something he called it, and he was sending miners in there. Well, that was the place that we opened up when everyone started to have this thing with the mushrooms and then the undead coming in from the outside and all that. So I didn't think there was much to celebrate, but the foreman was always a pompous fool anyway. And eventually...
Timing.
Say again?
Convenient timing. You open up something and then all this unnaturalness starts up.
Aye. And then we lost touch with the foreman entirely. Their office is down there to the south. If they've got any further notes, they would know. But there's also the undead coming right past this window, I'm telling you, all the time. 2 or 3 of them every day, usually. Skeletons, zombies. I've even seen some kind of weird ghost-like things. And of course, we can hear the moaning of the restless dead back in the rest of the mine. That probably is some of our friends. They're all there, having been infected by whatever this fungus is. Well, with mushroom creatures to the south and undead creatures to the north, you can imagine why we thought it was better to stay here. But haven't eaten for 2 days, barely drank anything. Our water skins ran out yesterday. And we were eventually going to have to make a move for it no matter what happened. Until you showed up, and then everything changed around. After the set noise that you made, though, you probably attracted most of the mine to come find us.
I was walling off a cave with 5 mushroom bodies in it. We just wanted to make sure we weren't surprised when we're looking in the other direction at some point.
Aye, but those things, I don't know. The spores, they can come through. I mean, most of our side, as far as I know, are either dead or I imagine escaped by now. But I still don't know what happened to the foreman, and there's all the undead coming from the north. And I'm just a simple guard. If it had been up to me, I'd still be on the deck of a small ship rather than being stuck down here in this stinking mine. And her eyes flicker over to you, Brian, briefly when the whole I would still be on a ship. And then, flickers back to the rest of you talking about what went on down here.
With all the undead and the zombies coming from the water and going north, are they coming back?
Well, that's the thing. They're coming from the north. Once they come from the north, they don't go back out. They've been coming through this water passage underneath here. It's not that deep, but I've had moments where I've seen them just walking underneath, simple as you please. I suppose there's no call for the dead to be breathing air, but still, they're coming from the open ocean for sure.
Can you tell us anything about the room to the south? It looked like it was infected with spiders. We were a bit too tired to risk venturing in, but if you know anything of that room... You say things have been going wrong here for a while now.
They have, for at least 2 weeks, and within the last week got much worse. Well, I don't know. That room that you're talking about is, I imagine you're probably speaking about the barracks where we used to stay. Yeah, that was one of the ones that when these creatures came in, they probably overran it, but by that point we'd already gone and headed up here. The foreman's office was basically to the south and the west of that area. If you went into that room and took a right and then a left, you'd find a place that leads you to a room that was just a hallway going south, and right past that was the foreman's office. But who knows what's down there and whether anything there could find you. I know about some of these spider creatures. They started showing up in even more numbers at the same time, but we run into spiders again. Before this, it was the undead. That was the part that I couldn't abide. And most of the rest of the ones here all fled if they didn't have to stay, being forced to by the foreman.
So, here's how I'm putting all of the details together. At first I thought maybe the sabotage was to disrupt the flow of silver, maybe disrupt Manistrad Kopalox's income for political or other purposes. Now I'm thinking it might be tied to this thing they found. Someone found something here. And then shortly afterwards, we get undead coming out of the sea, monsters. Now, some might say curse. I say that this has been done deliberately.
Well, if it is, if someone's creating it this way, then where are they coming from out there? And she kind of jerks her head over her shoulder in the direction of the open sea beyond.
I'm more concerned about what they're trying to do over here or prevent us from finding.
And she nods. It could be. I always thought the foreman was too aggressive, though. Was trying to dig too greedily and too deep.
He wasn't a dwarf by any chance, was he? Or them?
And she looks at you and she goes, "You know what the..." No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't say that.
Probably one of them fools of a took.
I wouldn't be surprised. The truth is, though, the foremen themselves, no, they were human, but they were willing to work with the dwarves and with the rest of Saltmarsh. Many of the people here, though, were from outside of Saltmarsh. The mining company actually recruited a lot of its people from outside, and I don't know all of them. That was above my grade. I was just here to act as a guard and protect the mine, and I was damned good at it until they opened up this path to the restless dead.
I'm thinking we may want to look into what's here first before, because we do have some business out at sea. You don't need to worry about that. It's not 100% relevant right now. Or maybe it is. Who knows? That's the fun of investigation.
Oh, I knew you were going to say we were staying here longer. Oh, I hate this place.
And someone back, "What's so bad about this place? It's got places to sleep." "You shut up, you." And looks at you again, Silvo, and says, "Are you sure you can't do anything to knock them out of this state?"
I wouldn't even risk trying. That was, accidentally speaking, that was probably the nicest thing I could have done. I don't even know what I could have done otherwise.
That was nicer than a bloke, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate.
Could I Arcana check to see if I can figure out a way to snap him out of it?
Can I make suggestions without making an Arcana check?
Sure. I mean, you can make suggestions.
I look quizzically at Silvo and gesture to try the following.
I'm not slapping a buccaneer.
Why?
Best response.
Sorry. Waves looks at me and makes a slapping motion. I look at Brian and make a slapping motion on my cheeks.
And Brian just looks down, gives Silver the side eye, like, "Don't you even try it."
That's just about an adventure game. I'm not slapping a buccaneer.
I'm not slapping a buccaneer. If you seen me, I'm like 95 pounds soaking wet with 2 bricks in my pocket. You do it.
Okay. So, Waves walks up to the adult people and looks at the forewoman just to see if she's...
Let's just hope that whatever was cast on them isn't all tentacly.
Yeah, the forewoman shrugs and says, all right. It probably would do any good for them, even if they weren't spelled, whatever you did to them.
I don't know. It's probably the weirdest non-lethal thing I've done so far.
Okay, I give the first one a nice little slap on the face.
Let's see whether that...
You know, like, if somebody is confused, you usually slap them. So that seems to be like the non-arcana check method of doing things.
And so he's like, ugh, and he sort of looks back and then, "Why'd you have to hit me? Oh, the parrot hit me. Why did the parrot slap me? Parrots don't slap anyway." And the
you broke him.
The sort of lead guard sort of shakes her head sadly.
Okay, I let my shoulders hang and say,
Now, that was just one of them. It could be waves that the other may have a different effect. Or we could just sit here and have you slapping both of them for the next 25 minutes.
This doesn't seem to work, sadly.
I'm going to turn to the not comatose one. Where did you say the foreman's office was?
Right, it's to the south. I can let you know I can show you on your map if you have one, and give you some details about where to go. It's not too far from here, but it's going to be between you and them is some strange things abroad and about. If you head down that way, if you go, well, you went through that thing you said was the thing that you said were there's spiders down there. It sounds like the barracks. If you went down there, so. And basically, you know what this means if you, let me sort of draw this freehand. If you were to go, based on how he's describing it, and this is just based on, like, the path you've taken so far. If you were to go down the path here, hold on, halfway there. And then you were to go, like, this, and then go this and this way. So basically, if you were to follow this path down that area and then took a right in that room, that would lead you to a hallway that supposedly, if you take a left down that hallway, as soon as you get an opportunity to take a left, at the end of that hallway is the foreman's room. So it's not that far, but of course the guard doesn't know anything about what's between you and it. And as you've already said, you had heard some scary spooters down there.
I'm keenly aware we
could...
a
room that Waves and I investigated?
No, we got as far as the entrance of the spider room and noped out of it because we were still pretty beaten up from the Crocogate.
Yeah. Makes
what
sense.
was it? I can't remember what it was.
Crabligator.
Crabligator.
Yes.
I was thinking Croctopus, and I blame the Asylum movies for that because
Yep.
There's so many D&D monster ideas from that.
100%. Yeah, that's totally true, actually.
But yeah, I'm keenly aware we probably could do with resting up. I pull out like a dull crystal, give it a shake. It stays dull. It's like, I'm going to need some time to charge my gadgets up.
As far as that's concerned, you're welcome to stay in here and get some rest if you like. Well, me and the others will make sure we stay out of your way. There's not a lot of room, and it's a little bit of a stench. And boy, is there a stench. It is the smell of
you get used to it. You do get used to it after a couple of minutes. It's like living on a farm. Like you go and visit, and then all of a sudden you're like, do you know what? That must have passed. But actually, you just it's just in you now.
Fair enough.
I'll take your word for that.
Doesn't smell that bad. I've slept in worse.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
So they offer you a place, and you could, of course, take a short rest. You could use hit dice. You have been slapped around a bit. Waves, in particular, is in not great shape. You could do that. You could also try to take. I'm trying to remember though. I need to remember if we took a long rest. If you took a long rest today, I don't.
We've only taken a short rest since we entered the mines.
Okay. So you can take a long rest and get the benefit of it. You can only do that once in a 24-hour period. So you could do that here if you wanted. Or you could take a short rest, and if you have hit dice left over, you could use that to restore hit points and such like.
Okay. Well, to table talk for a moment, I am completely tapped out on spell slots and class actions at the moment. So
you could
I'm
do with a
good
long
for
rest.
spitting at people in a fight currently.
I am lower than I would like to be on spell slots.
I still have spell slots, but I don't have anything else.
I have some. I've not got a lot. Like I could probably eke out if we do just a short rest. I think I'd be okay. I got 1 level 2 and 3 level 1s. So
we've got the spider cave.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of think we need Mothwill's trinkets.
Yeah.
I don't
want to
need
spoiler
a
it, but
long
I can
rest.
sweeten the deal. I do have my 3rd turret planned for the spider cave. The one we haven't seen yet.
It's like the reverse of a devil's bargain. You're just like, I'm just going to sweeten the pot a bit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I have less than half my hit points, but I also only have 1 hit die left.
I don't know what you're all moaning about. I'm fully healed. Mr. hidden behind a curtain for 3/4.
I'm Silver. I wet my pants and nasty things happen to people.
Hey, that smell was on these pants when I found them.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that, actually. You've probably nicked enough stuff to be able to buy a new pair.
I mean, that's fair. But our reputation to protect. All right?
What,
Well,
a
people think
reputation
I'm
of the man with the most urine-smelling pants in town?
that was my shoes before I got them replaced. Yeah, I
need to
don't want
find more
people to
stuff for
think
you
I've
to steal,
gone
man.
gone up in the world and become, lower class.
All right, we're long resting.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Cool, sounds good.
All right.
So that's I get
Sleep
hit
time.
dice back up to max.
Is
we
anyone,
cannot
as
sleep
you're
while
doing
I'm
this
using
long
that.
resting, is anyone
Mhm.
setting? Are you now? The guards also offer to be able. Actually, you don't even need to set. I take that back. I was going to say, do you need to set a watch? But actually, given the fact that you're literally sitting with 3 guards, they are willing to actually do that for you. So yes, you can do that. Although
Morth will still offer to take a shift because he'll use the time to be like fiddling with his stuff and setting up the crystals for recharging and things like that.
Okay. And they do ask that in exchange for doing this, they do ask that you make it so that they will be able to have a clear path to the exit, because having learned about what's happening in the rest of the mine, they basically feel like they should not have to be, occupied with like guarding the place anymore. So assuming that you're willing to do that, then you can do this. And yes, that means that a character gets all lost hit points. You're going to get spent hit dice up to a number of dice equal to half of the character's total number of them. So since you have 4 right now, you could get 2 total dice back if you've spent any of your hit dice so far.
So if I spend 2, could I get back those 2?
You don't need to spend it, Brian, because you're going to get full hit points anyway. You will, because a long rest, you get all hit points back. But if in the short rest previous to this, you had spent a few hit dice, you could get 2 of those back total during this long rest. If you
So I've
follow
gone
what I
back up to I've gone from 2 to back up to full 4.
Okay.
For example.
Yeah, same.
Up from 1 to 3.
Lovely.
I'm back up to 42 and I've got
get
my
all my
action.
spells now,
action
Wait,
surge
there is a
now.
button for that. Let's try that
The
button.
long rest button. I just
Oh,
noticed that.
shit, yeah.
I'm gonna try that one. I'm gonna set everything back and try the long rest button.
Yeah, let me know what it does
reset
actually.
my hit dice,
Yeah,
but
it
it didn't
works.
set my HP or my action surge.
How does
If
it do for your
Yes.
spell slots, Saber?
I'm just checking that
Yeah.
long rest.
Or
Just
Silva.
double checking.
Yeah, spell slots also.
Yep,
Everything's
it's
fine.
refilled them.
Nice.
Nice.
Huzzah.
Well
I have
done, Roll20.
rejigged my prepared spells.
Nicely done.
Little Royce Rasa says, no worries, they probably aren't hungry. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem.
You cannot rest while zombies are nearby.
Okay, so you've used, and I'm gonna mark down long rest has been used, because it has been. 1 sec. All right. Long rest used. Okay. Right. So 42 out of 42, 34 to 34, 24 to 24, and 46 out of 46 for waves. Okay. Lovely. All right. And other than that, it's actually just quite silent. Nothing, comes to bother you here except for this sort of trickling of water and the dripping of water. But and the guards report, by the time you wake, by the way, both of the other guards have recovered from their quote unquote idiot status and are no longer idiots. At least not although according to the sort of lead guard, that's not necessarily in evidence. But they have recovered their status, and one of them was sort of looking out of the. Sorry, I'm just trying to delete something. There we go. Was looking out of the sort of arrow slit at the spot beyond, and said that they had not seen anything else come this way so far, like come from the water. So they didn't have anything of that nature to worry about, but that they could still hear in the distance the sound of like moaning, like a type of thing, echoing from inside the cavern, inside the mine. But nothing came to actually knock on the door or disturb you otherwise. So once that
Rather
is
haunted
over,
mine.
yeah. So once that is over, once you've had a chance to rest, then the question is where you folks are going to head. There are obviously other places too that have not been explored other than the one they just told you. For them, as far as like finding the way out, if they go through the place where the dead people were, or even if they took you the same thing that I just free-handed before that path, and they went this way instead, that would lead them to the place that you first entered.
On the way out,
over here.
I'd like to ask them where the Dwergar came to be working from, since they're not usually seen this far from the mountains, unless it's for nefarious purposes, in my experience.
Yeah, the Duragar you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The guard sort of snorts. The lead guard snorts and says, I wasn't very happy about that either, to be honest with you, but I was told that they're cheap and plentiful. That was the way they looked at it. And also, apparently, according to the foreman anyway, they were building up this sense of, they said, dwarves can work with other dwarves even if they come from different places, and said we're trying to like create some problems where there weren't any. But I wasn't sure what to make of it. They kept to themselves mostly, they did, and as far as I can tell, they worked hard enough, but they were never really part of the crew. And then she stops and thinks. She says, of course, it's not like we asked them to be part of the crew either. I suppose, well, maybe both sides kind of mistrusted the other. But in any case, I don't really know why the foreman hired the ones she did. I do know, though, that the place that they broke into, when everything started going wrong, that was supposedly a Duragar facility itself, so I'd been told. The Duragar that worked for us, well, they were really excited when they broke through, said that it was some history, but they didn't talk about why, and I don't know any details.
Right. So you think it was the foreman's decision to hire the Duragar?
Aye, the foreman did a lot of the things on their own. Like I say, it wasn't the way I would have run the mine, but I wasn't the one in charge. They were always talking about quotas, by the way.
Hey, if you want a mine run right, you get yourselves a dwarf. Get it done proper.
What did you ask, Brian? Sorry.
Who hired the foreman?
Oh, that was Manistrad Copperlocks herself. She said that she knew that the foreman had some sense of what was going on down here, that they could get things done. Copperlocks only came down here once or twice, I think. But they were sort of the front, if you will, the face, I should say, of the whole operation. They were making money hand over fist, and a lot of the people back at Saltmarsh weren't too happy about it, I can tell you that.
Both of us going to keep silent at this point.
All right. Well, me and the rest of these the people, and she looks at the non-pacified guards who are just sort of like, give her this strange look, and she's like, right, then, since you say that it's clear, we're going to make a break for it. We've given you all the info you can. One last thing I'll tell you is, right here in this room, if you were to just pull this lever, and she shows you this lever on the wall, she says, this'll trigger the alarm. Supposedly, if there's anyone in the place, they're supposed to rally to this point, but, of course, there's no one left in the mine right now. As far as I know, it might just attract attention of anything else. But if you need the help, well, that might be something you can do. Or I guess you can just have your Kenku back there imitate the sound for you. And, the other two none. the other two guards look at each other.
I'm going to turn to Morthwill in particular and say, is there any way we can... I'm assuming that the sound actually comes from this area. The
sort of sound, the alarm bell, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Not totally. It does come from some other spot in the cavern. You don't totally know where. A more centralized spot. So one of the bells is here, but it also triggers a bell elsewhere in the mines.
Yes. I would like to use magical tinkering to enchant a pebble off the floor with the sound of the alarm.
Ah, okay. To do that, you're going to have to launch to do the alarm again, you know.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. No, let's not do that thing.
I was going to say, I'm happy to do so, prepares notes.
It's all right. I've got waves. We can reproduce it later if I want to.
Yeah.
Gong gong.
Can you not reproduce it from waves?
Yeah,
That's,
that's what he said.
yeah.
It really
We've
is
just
true.
got the sound effect database at our fingertips.
You really
And
do
I
have
a
a.
thing that-
You know what you realize? You don't have a sound board. You have a sound bird. Thank you. I'll be here. Thank you very much.
No.
Thank you.
We've got a sound wave.
A sound wave.
Hey.
Ah,
Hey.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Impressive.
Why did our numbers drop? I don't understand why everyone left. No.
They love it. Keep coming back.
Oh,
I was
man.
going to say to Northwheel, though, is there any way we can rig some kind of remote control, for want of a better word, to set this alarm off so it rings from here if we need it to?
We can all
Sorry.
see the gears turning in
I'm
his head
afraid,
now.
I'm afraid I got nothing for that one. I'm sorry. Having a little pebble that could reproduce it was about as good as I could do, but I'm not going to sound the alarm to get it recorded.
There.
Plus, points and waves, they can do the noise as well as I could.
And Wave can throw their voice as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, if I was so inclined, we got one hell of a counterfeiting operation ahead of us when we're done.
60-40?
Waves, you appear to be staring at me. He was just talking hypothetical.
Huzzah!
Oh, okay.
Someone just slides into view. He's like, and what sort of cut are we talking?
I was waiting for the ship is ours. Like, just like the mine is ours. Okay, so unless you need them for anything, the guards are going to depart.
I think that's fair and reasonable. They've said they've been bolted up here for a while now.
And so Kelsa sort of shakes everyone's hand, and then, right, you lot, let's go. And all the three pass by, and just before the one goes out the door, they sort of turn to you, Waves, and they say, right, I'm sorry I called you a parrot. It's not right of me. Sorry. And then sort of turns and uncomfortably, awkwardly departs, and leaves. And after about 30 seconds, you hear a horrible screaming. No, and you don't hear that. They all make their way back, and you are left in this room on your own. What do you want to do?
Bad news is the crab gate gone. Good news is the crab gator is now very full.
Yeah, exactly.
We are.
It's once again asleep at the bottom of the pool.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and Big Boss suggests an alarm system with Saltmarsh tech. Is basically what you're looking at.
I don't even have something like Mage Hand that I could conceivably operate at a distance. No.
I do, but we don't want to try and make Silver use it accurately. Jeez.
Well, I think that if we are going to take what the guard said literally, the foreman seemed to have a lot more information than they were letting on. So maybe investigating their room?
So, that way, certain death, possible spiders.
Probably
Well,
spiders.
I mean, there's either certain death with the possible spiders or certain death with the zombies and skeletons in the factory. So maybe being slightly more prepared for the factory might suit us well.
I've also had an evil thought. What
You?
if the
the one.
Not that kind of nasty
Silver,
thoughts.
Silver was very surprised down at
Not
Morthwell,
evil.
right?
Not evil. Nasty little thoughts. What if the ghost
Do
ship's
tell.
a goose chase to keep us away from town while stuff was going down in the mine?
Oh, maybe.
It might
Keep-
not be.
keep
We
the-
haven't really looked
The
into it yet.
valiant heroes of Saltmarsh away at sea, just bobbing around, while the undead just saunter in.
This doesn't
Timing's
look
awful convenient.
too recent.
Ooh, Morthwell, that was almost conniving, that thought. I love it. We'll make a rogue out of you yet.
fucking politics, mate.
I don't think that this has happened recently, and I don't think that Couple-Lux could have preempted us going here now rather than to the ship.
Yeah, I don't get nefarious baddie from Couple-Lux. I get it from some of the other members. Get a horrible stink of would stab their own grandmothers in the back from them.
Well,
but,
Copperlugs wasn't the one who sent us after the ghost ship. Copperlugs
that's
asked us to
true.
look into the mine.
That's true.
And while we were away, her position in town could be getting weakened with a mine that's shut down and being overrun by monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
think
it's a good
that's.
job we came here first then.
I mean, that's why we came here first, because it seemed slightly more pressing.
Plus, we know exactly where a mine in the ground is. They don't tend to bob about on the ocean like a legendary mythical ghost ship that may or may
was
not
gonna say.
actually exist, carrying a legendary. It all sounds very convenient when I'm saying it out loud like that.
I
But
was going to say, speak for
imagine
yourself.
that.
I followed the group. We all made the decision to come to the mine, and I can't swim, so I didn't want to go out to sea on my own.
You don't need to swim. That's what I'm here for.
I do if I go out to sea on my own.
You wouldn't be on your own.
I would
Plus,
if you
I
lot
mean,
were down
legendary
here.
ship. We're gonna
That's
go.
why I
and
followed
see
the group.
legendary ship.
Following us hasn't had the best
first.
results, but we're still alive, so you can't argue with the results. It's just the state of us afterwards. Shall we proceed?
Yes, let's go find a potential fight that we can just about get through. Come on, we're getting good at that.
Against every instinct in my body, I guess I'll just head over to the spider room.
Silver
Okay.
as we're leaving the room, Silver sort of like touches his chest. He's like, there's still at least a couple of ribs I've not broken. I'm certain of it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna turn to Waves and say, spiders.
Waves nods and gives Silvo a comforting slap on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah, no, that one still hurts. Good, excellent.
Comforting slap here. Okay,
Comforting dislocated shoulder.
so you are making your way down basically to about here-ish, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Oh,
Yes.
question after a long rest. I had a blessing from praying to
did.
the little dwarven shrine just
You did,
here.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that's probably dissipated after the long rest.
That is true.
Yeah, okay. As soon as I find my note about that, I will delete it. I
Yep.
remembered it, but I can't find my note on it.
Yep, that is true. That's I believe
Was it like resistance to bludgeoning or something like that?
right, exactly.
Oh, yeah, 'cause of
Resistance to
caving,
bludgeoning
wasn't it?
and piercing damage was what that was.
Ah, yep. Yep, I found it. Cool. What?
But it does last. I just looked at it, and yeah, it does last until a long rest. So
Excellent. Thank you.
okay. So if you make your way, so everyone I guess should place their tokens where you want to be. So this room, by the way, is this crumbling corridor. This is the thing. This right here is the that's the place where you were praying for the for the shrine, et cetera, et cetera. And there was a desk that had a few books on it and so on, and some letters that were going to be sent out apparently to miners and things like that.
Yeah, did we not take those?
I did make a note of that. Yeah, I've got a bundle of dwarf mining letters.
Yeah.
Something is very wrong here.
Right. I don't know if you took
My note.
everything or if you took it, but if you did, that's fine. I knew you took some of
Well,
them.
I checked the bundle. You said the gist of it was lots of people writing similar things about bad vibes, so I thought I'd take it as evidence.
Yep. So, okay. So as a reminder,
Silver's
this
just
whole...
leaning on the wall. He's just like, this way.
Here you are. So down here in this room, just as a reminder, there are bunk beds and trunks that are set against the eastern walls of this room. And the ceiling is 20 feet high, but it is thick with webbing, which stretches from floor to ceiling. And there are several bodies hanging motionless in partially spun cocoons. This was the part last time where you were like, as you said, just kind of noped the hell out. That's still is the way the room actually looks. This webbing here down pretty much all through the room is difficult terrain and may have other effects, although we'll talk about that if and when you decide to go into this place. And last thing, there's a corridor to the west here. There is a door to the north that's closed and a door to the south, that is closed.
Anybody got a torch? How flammable are spiders' webs? Does anybody know? Has anybody ever burnt a spider's web?
I've never tried.
There's no better time to find out then.
For science.
I've got firebolt.
Yeah, go on. You can
I'm not. I don't want to set fire because the whole room's covered. Oh, hang on. No, it's the webbing's on the ceiling, isn't it? It's not on the floor.
Is this corridor that we're in not covered in spiders?
The corridor is not. The room is.
Okay.
The corridor is not.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it's going to make a lot of smoke. I can't imagine
territorial. I would wonder why they didn't come through.
It's not going to be like maybe they found enough food in there.
For now.
Maybe that's just the start of them. Oh God. Maybe the foreman's a giant spider. Sorry.
So yeah, just to clarify, the roof is covered in webs, but the room itself is not.
No, that's not true. The webbing stretches from the roof down to the floor.
Floor to ceiling.
Your typical dank spider room, then.
Basically. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And in between them is where some of these bodies are hanging motionless in the cocoons.
Yep.
Played too much Skyrim to like this room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking of watching Argoroth's playing Legend of Grimrock and freaking out about the spiders. Sorry about that.
I step aside, give a little bow to Morthwell, and make a fire whooshing sound.
And I lean into Morthwell and I go, burn it. Burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it.
Okay.
Burn it.
Okay.
Burn it, burn it, burn it.
Reach down to my belt and pull out my cube.
Burn it.
Okay. I push the dragon button.
I'm moving away from the corridor first.
And a little clockwork dragon unfolds on 4 little mechanical legs behind me.
Wait a minute. Clockwork dragon? Really?
A clockwork dragon, yes, on 4 little legs.
Okay, hang on just a second. Clockwork.
And at this point, everyone knows exactly how this is going to go.
Yeah, I had a bull, but I didn't have.
He's like, oh wow, that's even better. I'm gonna move here.
Yeah. I got the shield toad, I got the bull, and I got the dragon.
Nice.
I get 1 per long rest, and it lasts for an hour.
I wonder if I have.
Absolutely amazing. Do you know that?
Okay, hang on a second. I don't care how small the room is. I cast fireball.
Yeah.
I've done that several times and it never went wrong.
Look at this.
Beautiful.
Mechanical dragon.
Right?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
So I was immediately like, I'm going to name it Spiky.
I'm going to give you control of this, actually, Morthwell. All right, so you should now have control over this mechanical dragon, clockwork dragon thing.
Let's put him there because he could pop up next to me.
Okay.
All right, so
Does it have a name?
Yeah, Spiky.
It's a work in progress. We'll see how it goes.
I like everyone ignores Silvo. Spiky, yeah, we're working progress.
I prefer it's bad luck to name something on its debut performance. A name has to be earned. This is the same for artifacts as it is for heroes.
Oh, I see.
I do talk a load of old bollocks, don't I?
Well then, nameless dwarf. Shall we see what your nameless dragon can do?
Yeah, I just push 2 glowing crystals, which are on my glove, and it just lurches forward.
Okay. Imaginary exponent suggests it's whip-y.
Whippy.
Work in progress.
Whippy.
You cannot see it on the... Oh, I know why. Yeah, sorry. That's because...
Oh, yeah. That's not updated.
There we go. Now it's fixed. Okay. So, yes, there he is, and I'll...
Whippy.
Okay.
I'll just grow this for a second, chat, so you can see.
Mr. Whippy?
This also gives me an excuse to use the brand new measuring instrument that they've got. Oh, that is great. It's just, instead of just the legs, just imagine it's got 4 mechanical... Yeah, Skyrim Dwemer spidery leg things.
I thought that was cool. So anyway, just wanted to show what that looks like.
That's brilliant find.
Okay.
That's
Right.
perfect. Okay,
So
right.
let's drop that a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So
I
you said you put
need-
it there.
Yeah, I need a cone.
Mr. Whippy and his cone.
Mr.
No,
You know, listen.
it's Mr. Whippy. It's got to be Mr. Whippy. I can't. That's too good.
All right. All right. This is
As
a
long as it
question
doesn't
only.
flake.
This is a question only for Pyron. Is there a reason that 3 UK people have somehow developed something that sounds like a BBC comedy? It's Mr. Whippy. It's one of my favorite. Like, it's just like.
I'll get a
Mr.
Google
Whippy's
image, don't
clearly
worry.
just like a repainted Henry Hoover vacuum.
Mr. Whippy.
I have a button for this.
Beautiful. Nice.
Okay, right. So it's a 15-foot cone of fire, but it doesn't tell me what sort of degree it has. I assume 45. That seems standard for a cone.
Probably, I would say. Yep.
Yep. Oh. Okay, so all right, that's right. That's how that works. Right. So from here then. Oh no. Would it be from here? Try to do it from the edge of the square.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So can we go? No, you'd have to be standing there to get that. Damn it. Okay, yeah, so centered on the square, I guess, would be how it would go. So we could go like that.
Yeah, it's not showing up yet. I know it's. Shoot.
It should.
No,
preview
it's
the
it's
template
my
for
fault. No, it's
players.
my fault. It's my fault. I got it. I fixed it.
Okay.
All right, so do that again.
Just full
So
from-
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, look at this. This is a fancy
like this.
tool.
This
There we
I mean,
go.
just full
That's
from-
better.
I'm just gonna. It's just gonna go like that and
Fancy.
indiscriminately spray a 15-foot cone of fire in that direction at the webbing and the walls and just
Okay.
try and ignite it all.
how much damage does that do?
It does 2d8 fire damage, a half if they make a dex save.
Okay, well, I'm here to tell you webs are not going to be making a deck save.
Those
Also,
bodies are not limber.
yeah, exactly, not very agile webs. Also, I will say that you'll be happy to know that these are actually vulnerable to fire. So I would like you to roll 2d8 and then double that, please.
Okay. Oh, wait if I can figure out how to get off the tool.
That's the idea, Imaginary Exponent. That's the
Right, can't
idea.
figure out how to get rid of the measure tool. Never mind. So what was that? So what was that again? Sorry, how many d8?
So it's 2d8, so you doubled. So 4d8, just 2d8 and double it, basically.
Okay. 18.
All right, so 18 points of damage, right? So,
I
the
can literally kill it with fire. This is so cathartic.
the aforementioned Whippy, and just like the flames go up, and there's in the now I like all the Lord of the Rings movies, but in Return of the King, there's that moment where Pippin is trying to light the beacon. This is not what happens in the books, by the way, but anyway, is trying to light the beacon and is like standing on top of the thing when he lights the beacon, and he has this like smug look on his face, and then he's like. And he's like, I got to get off this thing that I'm now standing on, which I've just lit. So this thing like, and you're all like, oh, yay. And then you're like, wow, that's a lot of, oh. And for a moment, there's just like inferno in the room, just like completely burns. And within probably, I don't know, a minute to a minute and a half, the webbing has been completely burned away in the room.
If it's a minute and a half, can I pull back? Whoa, no, not that. Pull back with feet back to here.
Sure.
No, let's make it there. Actually, just
As the flames are going off, I'm assuming we can feel the heat from the room.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah,
If you had been
quick-
standing
quick,
right next to it, it doesn't come down this far, but if you would, yeah. However, there is a decent amount here of flowing in your direction smoke, which does sort of kind of billow up a little bit. Now, it's not overwhelming, but it definitely, you can sort of smell it, and it's a little like, there's also some other very unpleasant scent that smells vaguely like burnt meat or something. You wonder maybe if the corpses or whatever was in, if they were corpses, whatever was in there.
They were long gone. I'm just gonna stick a bit of jerky on a crossbow bolt and just hold it out in front of me so it heats up.
I'm totally copying that. That was a great idea. We're just having a weenie roast while we wait for the
To do that, you're gonna have to walk up to the room though, because the flames are not coming down
just
this way.
put it in front of me. It'll heat
Yeah,
up.
slow cook.
You just
Got
want it
marshmallows
warmed.
on the end of my
Yeah, yeah, we
scimitar.
can't-
Yeah. You want it lightly warmed. Okay.
It's dried. I'm not going to bake it afterwards.
Okay. So you lightly warm your jerky on the burned web of the creatures that have been. All
Yeah,
right.
it's the cartoon scene where all the characters are like, whoa, and then one of them gets a hot dog out on a stick.
Okay. So that's fine. You're able to do that. And after, as I say, about a minute and a half or so, the fire has mostly subsided. There's a few little smoldering bits left, but otherwise, it's not there. Also, a lot of the wood of the beds and stuff like that is now smoldering or blackened. The webs burned much faster than the wood did, so not all the wood caught fire, but there's a little bit of that that's still there.
Not gonna lie, that was a little underwhelming.
I don't know. I thought it was quite pretty.
underwhelming. You have a pet flamethrower made out of metal.
Which
Underwhelming.
apparently I used to incinerate a completely empty room.
But you incinerated it.
That's true. Whippy worked.
Quick,
They
Eileen
didn't
needs
Won't
to
remove
walk
get
up.
stuck in any webs.
Those goddamn artificers said it'd never work. I showed them.
Morthwheel,
Aye.
the cave isn't held up with wooden supports, is it?
I really wish you hadn't pointed that out.
You hear
well-
"Krrrt" as the roof falls. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, well,
no, it does
It
not.
depends
We'll
how
find that
well
out
the room has been
afterwards.
excavated. All right,
Well-
well, I'm going to send. Apparently, Whippy is following behind Waves.
Off you pop then.
This seems like a safe place for Whippy.
I thought I could peek into the room to see if anything dangerous
behind the
is-
character made of feathers.
Oh no! Oh, I've got to be so careful with that.
The room does look to have been large. Certainly, the webs are gone. Waves. There are, as I mentioned, some of those beds and like little foot lockers and all that. They're scorched and burned, and some of them are slightly smoldering, but they're not sort of utterly obliterated. The webs, though, were all burned away.
Do I see anything moving around?
Perception check for me, please.
Okay.
I'm surprised we didn't hear any screaming coming from the tunnel. That was kind of what I was like.
Perception. There we go. 10. It's very
No,
smoldery.
yeah, you don't see it. You just see a bunch of smoldering, couple of little drifting like ashes of webs, kind of drifting in front of you.
I turn back to my group and give them a thumbs up.
All clear?
I nod.
Eh? All right then.
I'd like to come into the room, but also I'd like to check for little crevices and things as well.
Okay,
You know, like spiders can crawl into very small spaces.
that's fair.
So I would like to check for crevices in the room as well.
Okay, let me have you make an investigation check, and the rest of
Okay.
you can move your tokens where you want them to be.
I'll do. Sorry, I've just noticed they've got. If you see me going nuts, I've just found they've got a movement measurer now. If you right click while you're dragging your token around.
Mm-hmm. It's not always keyed.
Oh,
It
yeah?
depends on the circumstance. This one will, but some of them don't key properly. If you're just like using like a PDF, like a PNG, it doesn't like
Right.
sync up properly. Ananda, there
I
are
can't even
what
find
crevices?
the wall in the room.
Yeah, exactly. Like there are no crevices whatsoever. Yeah.
Like, my goodness, that smells good. What is it?
As I guess, yeah, as Mortimer would come into the room, he would instinctively be looking at the ceiling to see, well, to survey the handiwork, I guess. Like, how scorched is that ceiling?
It's pretty scorched, and the webs are completely gone from what you can tell. As I mentioned, still some objects in the room have some scorch marks and so on, and a little bit of smoldering here and there, but that's it. There's definitely a strong smell here of kind of burned cloth or fabric or web, presumably. And I mentioned a little bit of a smell of cooked meat as well.
Well, there's a unique mixture of smells that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to
Whoa.
forget.
I thought tannin smelled bad. I'm
wanna go.
not feeling very well right now.
I think I'd rather go back to the stinky cupboard.
So over here where we've got the arrow pointing to, is that just an opening or is there a door there?
Which one? I'm sorry. Which one? Are you
Sorry, yeah, basically our destination that we've been working towards, where we got the pointers on the map from the guards.
there is no door there. That is a
No door.
passageway.
Okay, so if we step around there, it will be seen. Okay.
Is there something to the north there?
There is a door there. Yes.
door.
Can
Okay.
I have
Is
a
it
listen
burning?
to that door?
No, it is scorched but not burning.
That bodes well for not having set fire on anything on the other side of it.
What about the southern door?
Same, also scorched
Okay.
but not burning.
I'd like to put my head around the corner while mostly staying behind the corner.
Okay.
Oh, now you're
There's
going
definitely
for stealth?
well, there's two bloody things that we've not found in this room: spiders or undead. What's the two things that we've seen lots of evidence about so far? Spiders
Spiders
and
and
undead.
undead. Okay, yeah, fair point.
I'm just saying if the pieces fit.
Okay, so you're just peeking your head around, you said.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, when you peek your head around just enough, you can see that the passageway extends to the west, and there is a spot that sort of leads off north, like an open passageway here, and then an open passageway that leads to the south, which is where the guard had indicated was like on your map that you should be going if you want to go find the foreman's thing, the foreman's office that was supposedly to the south, was the claim.
Okay. Well, I gotta be honest, the foreman's office is all I'm interested in.
Yeah, me too. I
At
would
least for
like
now.
to listen to the door to the north first before we carry on, just in case there's anything very ominous behind it.
Okay. I would like a perception check, please, if you could, Brian.
13.
Yeah, you don't think you hear anything back there, although no, you don't hear anything from this. Just sort of a kind of a silent. There's always a little bit of dripping sounds, from where you are and all that, but not anything specific that's unusual past that door.
Can I do the same with the door to the south?
Sure. Let's see. Perception check again there too, please.
3.
Wood. There's wood in this door.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much all you
I
get.
can hear,
Somewhat
I can hear the
scorched.
termites.
Yeah, that's
That's pretty much all you get, though.
There's nothing there, guys. Nothing at all. Right, let's
safe.
go.
Well, it's good enough for me.
Stop.
Yep.
Oh.
Brian, when you pass under this,
Oh.
there is a moment where you think, like everything's fine. And then you hear the sound of, I guess the best way to describe it would be a kind of clicking sound.
Uh-oh.
And then something falls right on top of you.
Oh, here we go.
Now, here's the thing. I want to
Delightful.
be very clear. You did not see this. All of a sudden, it's just on top of you. A very large, disturbing looking, and very much getting in a free attack on spider that lands right on top of Brian. And I would like to do that little thing that we like to call initiative. Hold on
So
a
has
second.
it like dropped as in fallen into view or just appeared on her?
Appeared.
Okay.
So
It's not a fucking phase spider, is it? Oh, initiative. Yeah, right. Hang on.
initiative. And
I
let's
was
get
going to
some-
ask, are there
Click my
such things?
token.
But in the end, yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Are there such things as spiders? I mean, rather phase spiders? Because the answer to that is indeed.
Well,
Yes,
I
that is
don't know.
Initiative.
Okay.
Oh, crap. I mean, good, but also I have to figure out what on earth I'm going to do.
Don't worry, Brian. Whippy works.
You're like, "Ooh, ooh." Like,
Hold very still.
Don't point that
Oh,
thing at
very
me.
still.
I can control the fire.
Stick him,
Oh
Mr.
my God.
Whippy.
Mr. Whippy is a precision
Mr.
instrument.
Whippy's code.
Oh, God.
Release the code.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Just let me get the Morthwill with an 8.
Yeah, I know, right? I get the fun toys, and then I get to use them after everybody else.
You're like rotating in a position like
Right side, everybody got a very clear and safe demonstration of how Mr. Whippy works, so they know how best to stay out the way.
All right. Now there's going to be one attack that this very spider-like creature is going to have, and then we'll talk about the initiative that it
Come on. I've just seen everyone
has.
else's initiative. You're taking the piss, mate. You're taking the piss.
Okay. Huh? What? Where?
Everyone else, 21, 20, 17, 8.
Like I said, you were focused apparently on things.
Yeah, just too distracted. I'm like a proud parent of my clockwork flame.
What a wonderful flame! Ah!
Oh, what's that brain? Oh, don't move. I got something for this.
Waves, what is your dexterity score? Just your raw dex score?
20.
Okay, great. Not your initiative. You're saying your actual dex score is 20?
Yes,
Your
I'm saying
super
my
dex
actual.
scores.
Yes, I
remember
had
this
Inanda
one.
there when I was rolling this. This is real.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember
really
it was
well.
badass. I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Pyro rolled with me.
Okay,
I'm a stat monster.
Okay, so let's see. This one this is the one attack it gets before the round actually begins. And it's going to do this at advantage, and so far as you had no idea it was there. Rolls awfully, though. That is a 10. That's not going to hit, right, Brian?
No.
Okay, so that
I've
you
got
just...
an AC of 16.
Okay, so you sort of get clear of it. You can actually come if you want to either side of it if you wish. You can go either here to the east side, or you can go to the west side. Or I guess you could theoretically squeeze into this little nook if you wanted instead, Brian.
I'm going to go kind of beside it to the east.
Okay. All right, you roll over its way. Okay, here we go. First to act is Silvo. Silvo, what would you like to do?
Right. Did this thing... Oh, hang on. I can do a bonus action, can't I? I'll do that in a second. So this thing appeared on... Because I was looking at Brian when this happened.
It
Did
appeared...
it drop from the ceiling? Or
It's
did it
hard
just
to
appear-
say. It looked as... Well, it clearly dropped on top because Brian kind of like didn't fall, but it was sort of staggered under the weight. But it also
Right.
clearly did not just drop... There was nothing on the ceiling a split second before this thing appeared. So it dropped from somewhere and then landed, but you don't know from where.
Okay, give me
definitely there now.
2 seconds. What can I... Oh, I know. Right. In a jump scare fashion, Silvo is sort of going to go, what the... Jump a second and cast Infestation on the spider. Because that's not something I have to sort of push out. That's something that just sort of happens.
Okay.
So can it make a Constitution saving throw DC 14, please? It
will make that save. Not by much, but it will make it.
Make that save.
Yeah.
Constitution DC 14.
An infestation on a spider.
Yeah, well, nothing happens then.
Okay.
The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or it takes 1d6 poison damage.
Okay.
So, Silvo just jumps, and as a bonus action, I'm going to use my Eldritch Adept ability to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Ah, okay. Sounds like a
That's it. So you just see like a shimmer of what looks like shiny sort of viscousy liquid just cover him for a second and then kind of fade away.
Okay. Lovely. Are you moving anywhere, Silvo?
Yeah, I'll say I jumped 5 feet back.
Okay. Leaps
In that
5
sort
feet
of like,
backwards.
oh my god, where did that come from?
Yep. I hear that. Waves, you are up next. What would you like to do?
I squeak
Okay.
like eek, because suddenly giant spider.
Yep.
And then I would like to poke it with my rapier.
All right. Proceed. You may do so.
Normal roll. Submit. 19.
19 will definitely hit.
Okay. And then damage. Clickety-boo. 15.
Wow. Very nice. Okay. So that you hit it for a lot. And it makes this horrible, like terrible
Those
clicking
were a few
sound.
amazing rolls. That was nearly maximum damage.
That was very impressive. So that was a lot. It did not like any of that. Where are you going to move anywhere, Waves?
Can I move to here without doing an attack of opportunity?
Yep, you can do that.
Okay,
Sure.
then I would like to do that.
You will do that, and this thing is going to promptly turn in your direction because it was not a fan of that action at all. It was like, yo, how could you even, how dare you do that? And is now going to attempt to bite you, Waves, I think.
Okay.
Let's see. That is a 17.
Nope.
Okay. Sorry, 16. Okay.
Still nope.
So you're like, haha. And then you hear a clicking sound from behind you. And
Fold up spider.
literally appearing seemingly out of nowhere. Well, actually, two things happen. First, you see appearing apparently out of nowhere 2 more of these huge spiders. And then the one behind you winks out of existence.
Okay, time to leave. Back in the corridor, people.
This one comes at you and is going to attack you again, Wayne.
Cursed.
Okay. What do I need to do? Nothing, right? I just get bitten.
Well, no, it's going to critically miss you. Actually, no, I take that back because that's a surprise run, so it rolls out at advantage. But it still misses you unless a 12 hits you, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
No, with rapier, my little shield, I get up to 19.
Okay, this one is going to come and is going to attack Brian and not you. What's up, Ghost Zero? Okay, these rolls are awful. 15.
Good.
No, I've got an AC of 16.
Okay, so they both miss, which is good news. Not as good news is that they then zoop and zoop out of existence again. I like the faces of the party is very funny because they're just sort of like like, you know, it's very funny. Okay,
is this a shared hallucination or is this thing actually happening?
Let's see.
Fucking phase spider variant, I think.
Brian, you are up next, and Morthwill is on deck. What would you like to do?
Can I hold my action?
Yes, until what?
Until the spider appears?
Yeah, like, so
Spider
is your
appears.
action just like, you just specify? So like when the spider appears, I hit it very
When
hard
the spider
with my weapon?
appears, I would like to attack it with both of my scimitars.
Gotcha. Okay. Seems reasonable. That is going to lead us to Morthwill. Morthwill, what would you like to do?
Right, let's see. First things first, bonus action to move my Whippy over to there, and I am going to disengage to here. And I'm specifically disengaging.
Okay.
Just in case.
Just in case. Okay. Yep,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, so. How do I. Where was the thing? Oh, it's down there. Right. Let's have a check. Perfect. Roll of flame is going to billow out across that cone there directly, at least in where the 2 spiders used to be. Oh, quick question. Did they appear burnt in any way?
No, not in the least.
Right.
Oh, no.
I know. Fireproof spiders, we're doomed! Well, still. Rolling out a flame across there.
Okay.
I would like to shriek again.
That is a bit close.
At
yes.
the realization, yeah, that's true. Actually,
Good
so
job we
like just
already
right
set
in
the room
front
on
of
fire,
you, like
though.
right in Wave's beak. In front of Wave's beak is this fire, like. Okay. How often can Mr. Whippy do that? By the way,
Once per turn.
Once per turn. Okay.
Yeah, but again, he only lasts for an hour, so that's
Oh yeah, fine. Only an hour.
lot of rounds.
only an hour of just kick the room in, clear.
When you
Actually, no, that
absolutely
didn't work.
positively have to.
It really didn't work. Okay,
Is
so that's that.
and it's got its own
That's
clock.
not
we're
done
doing.
anything, has it?
You don't see anything, no.
Unfortunately, I used my action to disengage, so I can't really do anything right now.
Well, your move action to disengage. If you operate him, do
Yeah.
you operate him as a bonus action or a full action?
He operates separately as a bonus action to move. It's a 1 bonus action to move and fire him.
So you've still got an action left, not a move, but you got an action.
Oh, I still have an action.
Yeah, because you disengage. That's your move. So,
okay.
So you've still got an
Sorry,
action.
I've been playing a lot of BG3, which does it slightly differently.
Yeah.
It's been a while. In that case, out comes the flary gun.
Okay.
Flary gun.
Yep.
The flary fire cannon.
Yep, the flary fire cannon. And we're gonna do, if I can find the right drawing tool. Yes, give me a rectangle, and I'm gonna do it over that 20-foot cube.
600 cones of fire, 60 minutes at 10 turns per minute. I mean, more or less.
Well, yeah, it's just like every 6 seconds. It's
Yeah.
That's what's known as dragon math. That's what that is.
Just everybody behind the turret. We'll just let it push forward. So that is going to do that. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined in light if it fails a dex saving throw.
Okay.
So if they are somehow targetable.
Neither creature, no one appears highlighted in light at all.
Okay.
Or outlined in light.
So it's not invisibility then.
Does the fairy fire actually sort of scatter in that area? Do we see it sort of not hit anything and hit the ground?
Correct.
It could mean they've technically dodged the fairy fire because they could pass a dex saving throw, but
they're bloody huge.
Yeah.
Well,
no, nothing glowing. They're not there then. Okay.
Is that it, Mirthwell? Because I guess that is.
Sorry, yes, that's it. Sorry.
It's okay. Silvo, top of the round. Silvo is up next with waves on deck. What would you like to do, Silvo?
Silvo just goes, I don't think they're here when they're not here, and moves back 5 feet.
Okay. You can do that. And that's it, Silvo?
That's it. That's
okay.
me. Target.
Waves, you're up next.
I tug Brian at the sleeve and start walking backwards towards the exit here, like this.
Okay. Okay, and that's all you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what else is there to do?
That's fair. No, that's fair enough. Just making sure.
The magical people try to find the spiders. I'm waiting for them to find the spiders. So.
Well, funny you should mention that.
Surprise.
As you so right after you get past that area, suddenly appearing, whoop,
Spouter.
whoop, whoop, and sort of winking to existence. Now, before they have a chance to go, there was a held action from Brine. So, Brine, you can attack any of these that you like. The one that's been hit so far is this one by waves. So you can hit that if you like. Or you could go for one of this one right here.
Okay, I've got 2 attacks, one with each of my scimitar.
Do you just want to like both sides, like scimitar?
Well, I'm thinking that if I attack the one that's already slightly damaged and do enough damage, can I use the other attack on the other one?
If you're able to take it out with it, yeah, could be. So go ahead and make your
in
attack.
which case I want to go for this one next to waves first off. And does 10 hit?
10 does not hit, I'm sorry to say.
Okay, in which case I will attack the same one with my other scimitar.
Okay.
In which case 6 doesn't hit until I've got a crit fail.
Yep, it just nimbly dodges around your scimitar slashes. That's the bad news. The good news is that they now attack. One of them attacks waves and not you. That's the one that was already hurt by waves is going to attack. Finally, actually learns how to roll. That's a 19. Is that enough?
I've got exactly 19.
Okay,
so that would hit, I guess.
That is correct. So that is going to do. Let's see. First of all right, you're going to take 10 points of damage here as you're bitten by this thing. And I am also going to need you to make for me, please, a Constitution saving throw.
These are the saving throws. Submit. Crit fail.
Burp, 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 burp. Okay. You feel poison coursing through your veins. Waves. Let's see. That is going to do 24 points of poison damage as this stuff flows through you. This hurts a lot. Moreover, so you're gonna you get a lot of damage, a lot. So you sort of stagger under the effect of that. Meanwhile, so it does that. It does not wink out of existence again. It's used an action to reappear. This one, though, is going to, the one that's right next to Brian on the right side, is going to attack Brian with the bite. And is going to get a 6. That's not going to do anything. The spider that is next to Mr. Whippy is going to go after Mr. Whippy.
Okay.
Target rich environment with a...
It explodes. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, burst into flame.
Yes.
With a 9.
That's a miss.
Is a miss. Okay. All right. So they all stay there in place, having winked in. Okay, Brian, you are up. You hear a very, very upset Kenku on the other side of this spider.
Yeah, I'm shouting.
It's dangerous.
I'm just going to shout, stay away from her! And attack with my scimitar again.
Okay.
22?
That will certainly hit.
That's 5 slashing damage.
Okay, we'll take that.
And then I'm going to attack it, the same one again.
Okay.
12?
12 will not hit, I'm afraid. Sorry. But you did hit it once. Are you staying where you are, Waves? Or are you shifting it? You could definitely move up 2 spaces if you wished without any attacks of opportunity. Beyond that, you would theoretically create an attack.
So I could be equidistant from all 3 of them.
I was going to say yes.
I
You could just stay right where you are. That's fine. Okay, let's see. That was Brian, and that leads us to Morthwill. I sense there's going to be a I was going to say yep.
Time to heat things up.
Okay.
Release the
So
weapon.
dex saving throws from both and 2d8 from me.
Okay. Dex saving throws from
It just hits.
both.
I like that.
Oh, nice.
What's the DC?
That is a good question, actually. It's probably my spell DC. Let me just double check. Where are we? Eldritch Cannon. DC 13.
Both of them make that.
Okay. So I'll take half of whatever this is.
Okay.
Which was a 13.
All right. So they're both going to take 7.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
And so that's my bonus action.
I
Okay.
love that that's a bonus action.
That's my bonus action. That's supposed to be going beep beep.
Yeah.
I am D&D
You're going to slowly
syndrome.
become the Predator. I swear to God.
By the end of this campaign, I'm going to be Syndrome from the Incredibles. I'm going to fall back a step and firebolt this one.
Okay.
It's my action, I think.
Fire away. I think that's ranged spell attack, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, hang on. Lost me damn character sheet again. There we go. Getting used to this new UI.
Okay.
Okay, firebolt. Going out with a... That looks good, even though I can't see the results. 22 hits.
is a hit. Yep.
Okay, so... I'll do extra 3 points of damage to it.
All right. Okay, we'll take that and not like it.
And
And
that's-
you shift
Yep.
it back, so you're good. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that brings us up to Silvo with Waves on deck. Silvo, what would you like to do?
Reef. Other than say, I really think we should get to places that these spiders can't reach us. They look massive. He's also going to cast. He's going to cast Mind Sliver on this spider because that's the one he can see, and it's a spell that doesn't look like he's casting a spell.
Okay.
Short of me throwing rocks at them, I'm not
Right.
100% sure what I could do because somebody forgot to buy a new crossbow. Won't be making that mistake again.
So tell me what Mind Sliver will do.
Yes. So Mind Sliver, target must succeed on an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
So intelligence saving throw DC 14 or take 1d6 psychic damage.
I'm here to tell you this creature, shockingly, some intelligence,
Excellent.
just not that much.
Not as intelligent as they are dexterous.
Not
that's
super
what I
intelligent,
like.
yep.
So take 1d6 psychic damage. So dice 1d6. You take 1, fantastic, but also subtract 1d4 from your next saving throw.
Okay. I will.
If it needs to make a saving throw.
I will note. Please remind me if I do not remember, but I'll make a note of that. Sounds good. You staying where you are, Silva?
Oh yes, absolutely. I feel safe enough at the minute.
All right. Waves, you are quite hurt. What would you like to do?
This is a really good question.
You could disengage and double move, away. You could,
Yeah, that's usually not what Waves does.
Yeah, I know.
And I have a thing that would push the spider, but then it would hit Brian. That is not really better. Okay, I'll just. Wait, can I do this in? I need to read. This is a bonus action, so I could actually do this. No, this is also pushing. Oh no, I'm just knocking spiders into Brian if this works. This is not good. Also, she's not here. She couldn't stop me. So I'll just attack the spider in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Took a while to come to this conclusion. I'm sorry, but yeah.
No problem. That's fine. Go ahead and make that
Knocking
attack.
spiders into Brian today. Okay. Let's do this. Normal roll. Submit. 11.
That will not get it done, I'm afraid.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not so good then. Can I do I have, this is an action, can't do this doesn't help me. This is a bonus action, wait. Yeah, doesn't help either. Okay, nope, I've got no further ideas.
Okay. Are you staying right? Are you disengaging 5 feet, or are you?
Yeah, let's do this because maybe they don't fit in here. I'm gonna disengage 5 feet.
Okay.
Just like.
Okay. Right. The bad guys go. So, this first one, you having been apparently driven out of the room, sort of clicks angrily at you, and then turns and is going to attack Brian. And unfortunately, Brian, you are quite flanked at the moment by 2 spiders, as you may notice, even with your 2 scimitars. So it's going to be making this attack at advantage. 23.
That definitely hits.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Okay. So, first of all, it is going to do... let's see, right. Okay. It is going to do 6 points of damage to you, but I need you, in addition, to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
23.
Nice. Just like, Puh! You feel the poison coursing through you, but, you're made of stronger stuff than this. And so you're fine. Not so fine is the fact that as soon as it makes that attack, zoop, and it winks out of existence again. This other one then attacks you, not getting the flank bonus because the other one is winked out of existence for a moment. It's 19 though still.
Yeah, that hits.
So you get bit from both sides, as they say. Let's see. That is going to be 8 more points of piercing damage. And I do... Actually, let me double check and see if I need to make you make that con saving throw. Yeah, no, you have to make the con saving throw again. There are some situations where poison, if you resist it once, it's fine, but other times not so much. That's still
15.
okay, though. Yeah, you're still fine. So you are not totally fine. Everything's okay here. All right, now the other one is going to go after Mr. Whippy with furious anger and vengeance, or at least is going to try to. That is a 14.
That misses.
Okay. Mr. Whippy, once again. What is Mr. Whippy's AC, out of curiosity?
18,
Okay, interesting.
I think. Oh, and just a
better
point,
AC
because I
than
was
me.
just... I was just checking. My spell save DC is 14 now. My note hadn't been updated when I did my ability score improvement.
Okay, I think it didn't matter in this case, but that's good to
Yeah,
know.
it's fine. I was just going to say going forward.
Have I mentioned that these two wink out of existence?
Mm-hmm. Figure that.
Okay.
Run!
Okay, that's that. That's going to bring us now to Brian.
Oh.
Morthwheel on deck.
Can I once again hold my action?
You sure?
But can I move slightly further towards this entrance?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Just show me exactly where is important. That's the space you want to be?
Yeah.
Okay. You can certainly do that. Okay. And you will hold your action. So the action again is attacking with scimitars when the thing appears?
Yeah.
Got
when
it.
they appear, yeah.
All right. Morthwheel, you're up. Silvo is on deck. Morthwheel, what do you want to do? I think you're muted, maybe.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Right, so I'd face that a bone. Really, I want to hold my turn until the spiders appear, but that'll be the next round.
Indeed.
Which means I'm basically sacrificing my turn, because I don't think I could go twice in one turn, right?
Right. You're basically, yeah, you'd be... Well, if you're holding
Doing
your
nothing now to go earlier next turn?
I was about to say, if you're holding your entire turn, then what you're basically doing is switching your initiative order. So what that means is that from that point forward, you would be sacrificing your turn, but then you'd be going right after waves and before these creatures. If you want to just hold, if you want to do something but hold an action, then it's not going to alter your initiative order. It's just the action itself that's being affected.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference.
I think I'll stay where I am. Yeah, I'd like to hold activating the flamethrower for when the spiders reappear, because we've definitely established I can't touch them otherwise.
Okay, and you don't need to be next to it to start it to fire it off, right? You just have to
No, it's just a bonus action. That's why I've been saying like pressing crystals. That's my
okay.
flavor for how I'm
for the
doing
range
it.
distance. Gotcha. Cool. Okay. All right. So you are going to hold your action, but not your turn. You're going to hold your action until they appear, and then Mr. Whippy's going to do his thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Are you moving anywhere then, since you're not holding your full turn?
I'm thinking about that, but
Perhaps in that really nice little nook down there. You know, the one with not a lot of room. Like this seems
the
lovely
clicky,
this
clicky
time
spider
of year.
room.
Oh yeah. Like, it's nicely appointed.
Go stand in the spider cubby. But,
Yeah, where we saw
but
the spider
superior, I
fall
don't
on
want
Brian.
to.
Yeah, just go stand in there.
No, I think I'm going to
Definitely
stay
Doom
exactly
corner.
like this.
Does seem to be
That's
the
me.
naughty corner.
The naughty corner,
That's
exactly.
the very naughty corner, that one.
Okay, so you're going to stand like that. Great. Top of rounds. This brings us to round 3. Silvo, you are up first. Waves is on deck.
So I can hold an action. Do I have to specifically say if I'm going to cast a spell with my hold action? Do I have to specifically say what spell it is?
Yes. Yeah, because it's got to be very specific. I'm waiting to cast Magic Missile, or I will do XYZ when something happens. I mean, you don't have to say only if Spider 3 appears on the like you can say when I see a spider, I do XYZ. That's fine.
Can I move and hold an action?
Sure, because then you're
Okay,
just
cool.
not taking your whole turn. You're just holding an action. Yeah.
I'm going to move forwards so I can at least see part of Morthwheel and Brian and go, maybe we should take this rare opportunity to leave and hopefully they won't follow us. And I will hold my action to cast, or have cast, Nathir's Mischief.
Ooh, Nathir's Mischief.
Do I need to tell you where I'm casting it? Or is that just I am casting?
Casting it on. Well, you can just
specify.
specify a condition, like when I see a spider, I cast Nathir's Mischief on it.
Yes, when I see a spider, there will be Nathir's Mischiefs
Got it.
cast on as well.
Okay, that sounds good. Waves, you are up next.
Okay, I use lay on hands and neutralize the poison.
All right, very nice, very nice. Yeah, you.
Yes.
Well, yeah, to heal yourself because you were not actually poisoned. It wasn't ongoing.
Okay, but then I'm not neutralizing the poison if there is no poison.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I can completely understand that. In that case, I will use one. How is it called? Let me click. Cure wounds on myself.
Okay, seems logical.
Can I just click on it? Yes, apparently I can. Level 1 is correct.
All
7.
right. Okay, so you're back at the 19.
Yes,
Lovely.
and that was my action. And I'm in this small corridor, and I feel like this is a really good place to be. So I'll just stand where I am. Could I switch my weapon to the crossbow, or would that be another action?
If you drop your sword, I don't mean throw it down the hallway, but if you just drop your sword, then you can pull it out as basically a bonus action. You can switch out the crossbow.
No, I'm too nervous to that. I cannot drop the rapier. Nope.
Okay.
Then in that case, I'll stay with the rapier.
Okay. All right. Then let's see. Then the next turn, then the bad guys are going to go. So first thing that happens is that this one is going to wink into existence, which means that, first of all, I think Brian is going to get an attack, and then Silvo is going to... And actually, I think it's going to be... No, Silvo's... let me think about this for a second. Brian's held action happened before Silvo. So that means that, Brian, your action is going to go off first, then Silvo. So,
what about Morthwheels?
I mean...
I'm waiting for the other two spiders.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Otherwise, I'm going to be shooting at Brian.
That's what I figured. So Brian and Silvo are different. So Brian, you're up first. So go ahead and make your attack, which was the held action.
Okay. Scimitar 1.
Oh, max damage. Let's go. What's the total max that you could do? Is that it?
It's 1d6 plus 3.
So 9 damage. Okay, that's max damage. Okay, that seems to have hurt it a lot.
Okay, I'm going in with the other scimitar
1d6
as well.
plus 3. Your counter says rolling 1d6 for a crit as well. Do you have something that allows you to roll extra dice for crits?
Well, it would be the max damage that she can do. So if it on that weapon, so she gets. I mean, it listed it as 8 plus 1.
Set up differently.
Yeah, they set it up differently, but it's the same thing though. As it turns out, she gets max damage on it, which is 9. That's slightly
I have another scimitar
home-ruled
that
myself.
does 1d6 plus 4, but I didn't use that one.
Okay. Speaking of which, you are going to use that other one now, though, right?
I am going to use that other one now.
This is the full attack action.
13.
13 is actually enough. 13 will hit. Yep.
In which case, 8 slashing damage.
All right. And when you do...
My infused sword's as good as any crit.
You slice it in this weird shimmering ichor bubbles out of it as it clicks and then expires. Okay, now since that action happened before this, you'll be happy to know that the next thing that happens is these two things wink back into existence, which triggers two things. First of all, I believe Morthwill reserved the action before Silvo did, so the flame is going to go off first, and then we'll deal with Silvo's thing.
I won't bother measuring the cone. But yeah, so they need to beat 14 as their dex save.
Right. Yes, 14.
And it's going to... Oh, man! 3 points of damage.
Both of them failed, though. That's even more disappointing because they could have done more as it happened. But okay, so you said they both take 3.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
They will take that. They click scornfully. Okay.
I click in disappointment.
Yeah, exactly. They're not alone because okay. This one, first of all, is going to try to get off on that damn Mr. Whippy thing. Man, it does not. These the ones like to roll 5s like it's their job. So or
well, for what
or
it's
below
worth,
10 anyway.
Deliberately trying to screw around with the floor plan because they're 4x4.
Yeah. That was good. So 9 is that one. Then this one's going to come up here.
My held action.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon.
Okay.
Right, I beg your pardon. So the first thing was before they attacked, I should have done that other one. Okay, well that we'll keep that as a miss regardless. So Silvo, you can attack either one of these. Technically, yours applies to either one of them.
Okay, cool. I'm going to cast if there's mischief between the two of them.
Okay.
If that's possible.
Okay.
So in this, it's 20-foot cube. So
Okay.
that, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, 5, 10 feet. Yeah, that would be all right. I need to roll a d4 because not even the book knows what this does. What happens now is anyone's guess. 1. Could they both make a wisdom saving throw, please? DC 14.
So the topmost one fails, the bottom one makes it.
Okay, cool. I don't suppose anyone would actually sense this from over there, but suddenly a very nice smell emanates from the center of the room. It almost smells like freshly baked apple pie. And the top spider is now charmed until the start of my next turn.
Oh,
Apple pie. Okay.
The actual description is the smell of apple pie fills the air, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you until the start of the next turn. So I don't actually know what a charmed creature does, so I might need your help on this one.
Charmed is actually extremely useful, at least in sort of limited doses. So when you have a charmed creature, what it means basically is that a charmed creature cannot attack the charmer with any kind of harmful effects or target the charmer with any kind of harmful effects. And the charmer has an advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. Now, this unfortunately does not extend to the party. There are other conditions that do that, but not the charmed one. So he basically is not, he thinks you're awesome. The rest of them, he's still like, click, click, click angrily. But
okay.
you're great.
Cool.
Still hates Mr. Whippy though, which is why he attacked Mr. Whippy and missed. That's how that ex post facto worked. Now we have this other one that's going to move in. Everyone's held actions having been done. He is going to try to attack Mr. Whippy. Someone is going to hit. Oh my God in heaven! It's a 20. He actually probably hits this time. Not a natural 20, but a regular 20.
okay.
Is that enough?
That will hit.
All right. Let's see. So that is going to be a total of 10 piercing damage to Mr. Whippy.
Okay.
And then Mr. Whippy needs to make a Constitution saving throw unless he is immune to poison.
Mr. Whippy is immune to... let me just read you the list for your benefit. My cannons are immune to poison damage, psychic damage, and all conditions.
Wow, okay, so not poison. So just 10 points of damage. How many hit points does your
15.
Mr. Whippy have? 15? Okay. All right.
But I can use mending on them as well if I had that cantrip.
Okay. Okay, so that was all. They winked into existence, so they're not going to wink back out right now, which means Brine is up next with Morthwill on deck.
Okay, I'm going to go for the closest Spooder.
Okay.
With both of my scimitars again.
Okay, go ahead after that. Make your attack, please.
Oh,
wow.
another nat.
Good gravy. That was the and that was the more powerful one, right?
Nice.
Yeah,
No, that was not the powerful one.
Oh, what do I get? Let's see. 7 plus 3. 1d6 plus 3. What I'm not understanding is...
I don't understand why it's coming out with that.
It's 7 base damage plus whatever she rolls, I think.
Yeah, but then it's saying underneath it that the scimitar is 1d6 plus your strength, which should be 9 maximum, not 10 maximum.
Yeah. Should be 9,
And
not 10.
Does
I don't know
maximum.
why.
Okay. So it does not like that at all. That's a big hit. Definitely hurt, no question.
And then with my other scimitar, I got 21.
21 will hit, absolutely. Is that 7?
With another 7 slashing damage.
Now looks very hurt.
Brian brought the bloodthirst.
Yeah, seriously. All right, where is Brian moving?
Brian's staying where she is.
Okay, then that's going to bring us to Morthwill, who is up next.
Push a button on my gauntlet again.
And actually, that cone does hit both of them still, doesn't it?
I believe I can... I got no censored on me.
Suddenly the spider does... Okay.
Do we want to hit the charmed spider?
Yes.
I don't know the spider's charmed. I just smell
Exactly.
apple pie and I'm hungry.
It's going. Yeah, it's going to. Be, assuming you don't know it, then it will uncharm it the minute it's hit.
Not
Okay.
even Silvo knows it at this point.
That's true.
Well-
Only the spider knows that it thinks you're
Yeah.
awesome.
Exactly.
And you can't tell because it's not like it speaks anything, right? So it's
No,
just like
exactly.
click, click, click. You're like, that means you hate me? It's like, no, love you. Good friend.
Oh,
Let's go watch
football. Let's go get a drink.
And-
You're the best.
And the spider is just standing there, like happily, peacefully
Yeah.
thinking of
It's
apple
doing,
pie.
it's doing
Apple
sign
pie.
language
Click,
like
click.
thrillers.
Yeah.
It's like spider, friend.
I have new
spider.
friend.
It starts to. It's like Charlotte's Web. It starts to be like, you're the best or whatever, and like, and then you do this.
Dex saving throw, or they take full 5.
All right. Dex saving throw from the
From the flames.
left one is going to fail. From the right one is going to make it. So ironically, the charmed one is missed and therefore is still charmed. Is like, like,
I
which is
meant to
very
do
funny.
that.
Okay, it says 5 points of damage is what you said for the other one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one that's
Oh no,
here.
it doesn't miss the one. The one that failed takes half.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
that is gonna hit.
So it only takes. So it takes. It would take.
It takes
rounded up.
It's
Two,
mega
I think.
annoyed now.
Oh, is it rounded
no,
up?
3. It rounded up. So
Okay.
So it does that, which means it is no longer charmed. It clicks again angrily. Not that you would know, because you're just like, okay, whatever.
It just clicks.
Just you're like, it's clicking at me.
Okay.
See, I've done something. This
Okay,
other one
so-
here is very, very hurt now.
That one's gonna get a firebolt in its face.
Okay.
Because I haven't had my action yet. That's all my bonus action. I'm having my dessert before I've had my main course.
Jeez.
Okay, firebolt going at the weakest looking one that's oozing. Will a 22 hit it?
That will absolutely hit it.
6 points of fire damage.
Nice.
It is destroyed, and sort of its smoldering body falls over. All right, one is left.
Toasty, you skittering shit. I turn to Silver and go, if they burn, we can kill them.
Okay, so you are where you are. Are you moving any place?
Nope,
Okay.
that's my turn.
That brings us up to Silvo with waves on deck.
Oh man, Silvo doesn't really know what's going on at this point. He will hold out his arms and try and cast something whilst also biting the inside of his cheek so hard that he draws blood and will cast Mind Sliver.
I see. Okay.
Can you make a intelligence saving throw for that spider, please?
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. So it does not make that said save.
Excellent stuff. It will take 2 points of psychic damage.
Okay, and then it's got this
And-
minus 1d4 next time,
Yeah,
right?
minus
Saving throw?
1d4 to your next saving throw if you need to make one.
Got it. All right, are you moving anywhere, Silvo?
Yes, I am. Except I don't have my little hand tool. There we go. I'm gonna back here where it's slightly
Okay.
safer.
Totally safe. All right, that leads us to Waves is up next.
So the spider is not winking out of existence.
No, it winked into existence when this happened, and then it has not winked out of existence yet, but it goes next, so you don't know what it will do.
Yeah, it didn't say anything, so yeah. This is just.
It does the John Cena, waves
Concentrate.
its leg in front of me. You can't see me. I'm sorry, that was a terrible meme joke.
I don't know what are you talking about. There's no spider in this room.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, this is like the last spider, and I'm like really angry about everything. So I'll just like walk out and come from here. Use my bonus action to cast Thunderous Smite on myself,
Okay.
which is the range.
Okay.
So the first time I hit something with a melee weapon during the spell's duration, I do an extra 2d6 thunder damage.
Okay.
And if the target is a creature, then I push it away from me. And if I succeed in that, it falls prone.
Okay. Got it.
I don't know if it can still do the wink out of existence things while fallen prone, but
Maybe.
I think it's worth a try.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'll now hit the spider.
Let's see how that goes.
16.
Yep, that will hit. Rapier duel.
So that is because there's the bonus in there. So I'm gonna do some rapier damage.
Wow.
I just closed Firefox. That was really smart. 14 apparently.
Okay. And then you said Thunderous Smite.
Yeah, then 2d6 from Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
2d. Can I? That was just 1d6. I'm just going to do the second one.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
Second. So 7 from Thunderous Smite on top of that.
Okay. You squash it against the wall, and it dies, and it expires.
And it does boom.
Yeah,
because
there's
it
this
does
big
a sound.
thunderous sound, and then all of a sudden there is an eerie silence that sets in into the room as the last of these spiders falls, and we are now officially out of initiative.
Like a sticking plaster, just gonna rip it off. It's done now.
Flat spider.
Silver walks back in with now a slightly bleeding mouth. Like, well done, everyone. Good job.
Hey, that worked. Killing it with fire, best approach for spiders.
Walks in, looks at Mr. Whippy. He's like, I like this. I like this a lot.
Hey, not bad for a first attempt.
For
That
a
they said
first-
would never work.
For a first revision, I think this has got legs. so to speak.
Politicians, no sight.
I pet Mr.
It
Whoopi on the
didn't
head.
even
Tock, tock, tock.
explode.
Didn't
I
even
stopped
explode.
petting Mr. Whoopi.
I know a dwarf that owes me 50 gold if I ever see him again. It's been a couple of centuries.
The interest rate on that would have been good. Looks over at Brian and waves. You two doing all right?
I shake my head.
You shake your head. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm all right. I
Um,
think Waves might be in slightly more of a pickle.
I've got spider holes.
Oof.
Like when the spider bit me, I think you can still see like the points, and it's still like bleeding, and I'm still like standing like, no, not okay. Like,
Could Morthwell examine the spiders, see if he knows of any particularly valuable parts we could harvest? Maybe sell to local alchemists?
I think so. Go ahead and make a let's have you make a survival check, please.
The strongest, but we'll have a look. 18?
Yeah, you think that it might be possible, although it'll take a little while to do it properly, but you could extract the poison glands from these three things, which would allow you to then use that, like those are the sort of poison glands that you could then sell to someone back in town. It is strange, too, because these things, as you're looking at them, are sort of slightly shimmery. I mean, they're definitely not coming back to life or anything. They're clearly dead, but they're slightly shimmering even as you're looking at them. These things.
Shimmering. Does it seem magical shimmering?
Hard to say, but definitely not what you would expect from a normal, everyday giant spider. But then, of course, having
Silver.
giant spiders wink out of existence and back is not normal anyway.
Silver just looks at the minor shimmering on his own skin from mage armor. He's like, yeah, I don't think that's that. I don't think that's that.
I pull out an
Right.
hourglass and so I look at Mr. Whippy and I look at the spiders. And I'm like, we could probably harvest some stuff off them, but kind of on the clock here. I tap the hourglass.
Okay.
Can I just have a closer look to see if I've seen anything like that before?
like an hourglass.
No, the spider, I mean.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely can.
I'm
Are you
sorry,
looking for?
I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Are you looking for anything in particular, Brian? Like, because it'll
Just-
depend on the check, is why.
Just to see if I've seen a spider like this, particularly the fact that it blinked out of existence and
Nature
blinked back
check,
in.
please. Is what we're looking at for that.
I know nothing.
You've seen spiders, and this definitely was one of those.
It looked very much like other spiders I've seen. Same number of legs.
How long does a short rest take?
About
Waves.
an hour to 2 hours. Usually.
Yeah. Okay.
Silvo
no,
walks up
please.
to Waves and pulls out an unlabeled potion from his pocket. And he goes, I've got this. I got it on discount from Winston. It's got 2 doses in it. I'm not sure if it's going to help or it might make things worse. He was a bit sketchy on the details.
I nod and take it.
Okay. Remind me where you got this from again?
From Winston. I've literally got it written down as Winston's weird potion. might cure everything, might kill me.
Ah, yes,
2
yes,
doses.
yes. That's right. Okay, so
And I also like pat Silver on the shoulder, point toward the spider, and try to like be a little bit uplifting and say,
Monster kill.
Okay. So, let's see. I would like you. Let's have Waves do this. Waves, I would like you to roll a 1d6, please.
okay. 4.
Okay. You restore 2d4 plus 1 hit points. So go ahead and
Okay.
roll that.
2d4 plus 1, rolling 6.
Okay. Very nice.
This
very
is
nice.
Talisman Waves would have lost a life there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
That's better. I not gratefully at Silvo and hand the bottle with still one portion left back to him.
You good? You could have the rest if you weren't.
No, I shake my head and hand it back.
Okay. Well, if you need it, let me know. That seemed to work.
I know.
So sort of recorks it and sticks it back in his pocket.
You know what's kind of got me scratching my head right now?
Literally everything about this place.
Well, yes, actually.
Yeah.
Have you seen what I've seen?
Do you see what I
Well,
see?
Well, I was hiding behind the corner for some of it, but yeah, most of it.
Well, they
I
keep
point towards
mentioning.
the spider.
So I'm looking around. So the guards mentioned this as a silver mine. Koppelocks has mentioned this as a silver mine. Haven't specifically seen much evidence of silver extraction.
That's true.
Okay. So right. Okay, I may be onto something there.
That's
I'll
true.
file that away.
Although it's also possible that you're not. I mean, you've only seen a few sort of collapsed tunnels. You may not be in the actual like full out
true.
mining area yet. So there's that. too.
Yeah,
like-
Morth was kind of working under the assumption this was the main loading area, but it might not be for export. It might be for something else.
Mm-hmm. And they may have cleaned out of it, some of it as well when they evacuated. But
Okay. Well, I'm in favor of pressing on to the foreman's office, but how you holding up? I mean, spiders where you're not expecting them is bad at the best of times. Suddenly appearing on your head like that's got to be
I'm a little shaken. I'm a little hurt, but I mean,
Hey, but you tore him apart pretty handy.
my swords need a little bit of cleaning with the kind of sticky black ink, and I'm kind of just going to wipe my scimitars on the kind of furry body of the spider.
okay.
Silvo walks up to behind Brian while she's doing that and goes, "Well, bloody glad you're on our side.
Say that again.
I'm bloody glad you're on our side."
I'm glad you're on my side as well. And I'm going to give like
I
Silvo
agree.
like a hearty like slap on the back.
I'm just tuning up Mr. Whippy.
Okay.
Instead of
On a small
screws.
side note, just in case like anyone not from the UK doesn't know, Mr. Whippy being a brand of ice cream vans that go around the UK.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I
didn't
did
know that.
not know
I
that.
didn't know
No.
I did.
That's-
I posted
yeah.
a picture in chat.
That's why the
earlier.
cone thing was.
That's what sold it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why we got sold on
That's
that,
pretty
yeah.
funny. That's
Mr.
pretty
Whippy's
funny.
cone.
That's very funny.
If only it did like frost damage instead.
Oh, I know, right?
Maybe I can have a word nicely with Arv. We could homebrew something.
Are you folks
No.
headed out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Looking at the more wounded party members when I say that.
I was gonna say, like, who's going? Like, what order are we leading in then?
Well, Mr. Whippy will bring up the rear so we can all feel safer about him watching over our backs.
Okay.
No. Although, actually, no. Let's have him
Nope.
walking back.
As long as he turns around before he fires.
I'm gonna have him walking backwards down the tunnel behind us, watching our back.
Okay.
I may have been looking at Space Hulk again recently.
I point towards the 2 closed doors and make a shrugging motion.
Yeah, I'd rather find the foreman's office first before we have any other
Yeah, let's just get out of
disappearing,
this.
reappearing surprises.
Could we just maybe get out of this room specifically and
I'm
surrounded
looking
by
up at-
3 giant dead spiders? There's this uncomfortable glancing at the corners of the room. He's like, I really don't want to be in this room any longer than I have to.
What were we told? To the north? No, we were just told west out of this room. We weren't told
Turn
further.
left. in this
And then
corridor.
first left.
Oh, first left. Aye, all
Yeah,
right.
then,
Sorry.
yeah, south.
Dwarf getting lost in a mine. What's the world coming to?
They call
Well,
it a
yeah,
mine.
I've just been through a bit of a
mine.
traumatic experience. so,
I
you know.
call it a teleporting spider nightmare cupboard.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. There goes Mr. Webp. All right, well. Waves is leading on, I think.
All right, yeah, let's go.
Yep, I'm leading on. I'm still carrying my little shield and look a little bit nervous and shaken.
Understandably.
So I'm going to the crossroads and just peek around a little bit before I step into the bigger hallway.
I would like just ask Waves. Hey, you had a bit of assistance?
I look quizzically at you.
I hold up my magic 8 ball. Guidance.
I
Would you
give
like
you
guidance?
space.
I cast guidance on
yes.
Waves.
I would. Yeah. Okay.
I duke her on the head with the magic 8 ball. Just doop, doop.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, so you're just looking around the corner to the south, right?
Yes, very south and north. Like weep, weep. You like if you're crossing a street, you want to know both directions.
Okay.
And
So to
because
the
my luck, I'm gonna get run over by a minecart now or something.
to the south, you see a closed door, looking very much like the other doors.
Mm-hmm.
To the north, though, you see something a little bit different. There's at first you can't even make out exactly what it is that you're looking at,
No.
and then you see a cloaked figure.
Oh, it's
And
not
you
the
hear
undead.
suddenly, oh, and
Yikes.
floating towards you is a cloaked
A
figure.
moment of valor shines brightest
Didn't
against
mean
them.
that I
And
wanted to.
pointing, I was gonna say maybe you just pump yourself up and pointing. There you go. And pointing in your direction is a skeletal hand which reaches out to touch you. And that's where we're going to bring our session to a close for the month of November.
Bollocks to
Do,
this.
do, do.
No touchy the birdie. No touchy the birdie.
No bad touch.
What a
No
lovely
bad
place.
touch.
See, everybody knew it was just a matter of once you got into this spider room, everything was like, here's where all the things were that all the time.
Yeah,
Team,
that's why they
team.
didn't come out.
I'm starting to think we should have gone to the ghost ship first.
I'm feeling underleveled. No, you all did fine with that though. Fighting against those spiders was not an easy thing to do.
That poison damage scared me and was like, oh god.
Yeah,
But
that poison
Yeah,
damage
you
is
know the way.
nasty. In
I
case you're
went
curious,
from-
that was 4d8 poison damage is what that thing does.
I went
So-
down from 46 health points to 12 in a single turn.
Yeah, they just
That's
couldn't hit
straight off a
anything.
short- off
If
a
they
long
could have
rest as
hit,
well.
this might have been a different situation.
Yeah, and I was really glad with running the interference with the turret just blocking off floor tiles so they couldn't fully
Well,
fit into areas.
and it was freaking, flaming away. So that was
Yeah, yeah.
very useful, Mr.
They
Whippy.
couldn't get in close, and where they could stand was always in range of a cone of fire.
Although Imaginary Exponent makes a good point out that he doesn't know they don't know if they'd feel safer if they had a dragon looking at my back if said dragon has recently disintegrated a few giant arachnids. Like,
It's facing the other way. It's fine.
It's
I have
fine.
nothing but the well-being of the rest of my group.
but this was a lot of fun watching this combat take place and get underway. Even though I know everyone is dealing with walking wounded today, so I'm sorry about that. But it was great to see everyone get through this, and I'm excited for more of the exploration of this place now that you've had a chance to deal with the guards and you know a little bit more about what
have we?
may or may not be going on there. There's all that you have to deal with now too. So we'll see. Yeah, the ghost chip awaits, but there's also figuring out what's going on here, at least in some detail.
There's the skeleton trying to grab Wave's face.
There is also that, one way or the other. Let me start at the bottom with Brian, with Ananda. Obviously, Brian was kicking some dumbass and taking names today with the scimitar stuff. The fact that you were literally like, and that made it difficult because, again, this thing was literally winking out of existence, so it wasn't flamed when you shot it because it wasn't there. So when the thing appeared on top of you, I wasn't sure how things are going to happen, especially when they then flanked you. But you came through it okay, and obviously did a serious amount of damage to the spiders on the way. So Brian was quite effective in that sense, and did not hit the floor, as was the old joke about being knocked unconscious. That was good too. How'd you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next, Nana?
I really love our sessions, as always. The couple of nat 20s helped.
Yep. Oh yeah, jeez. 2 of them. Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that. The phase spiders, because I don't have fancy spells, but I do have a couple of handy swords, which does help.
Yep.
But yeah, really enjoyed it as always. Looking forward to seeing how this progresses. Skeletons, zombies, the undead.
Oh
Who
my.
knows? Or dares to dream. I will be over on my own channel. I'm feeling pretty rubbish today because I had a flu jab and damaged my back last week. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow because I'm feeling fairly rough right now. But yeah, I'll be over on my channel hopefully for the rest of the week alongside my puppy who has her own cam on stream. Yeah, just ticking along, doing the thing. But yeah, really enjoyed today. Thank you very much.
Oh, good stuff, and feel better, Nana, on all fronts.
Thank you.
Moving right up the line, Mike, great stuff from Silvo as well. I liked the idea of, as always, the flavor that you bring to this when Silvo's doing various things, and sort of like revealing aspects of the mystery of Silvo a little bit to us as you do so is always fun. It was funny when you did the jumping thing and then tried something which had like zero effect as it happens. You're just like, hey, haha,
Okay.
There we are. That was amusing. But also was able to do some damage on several occasions, and also, of course, was dealing with the guards earlier on, and and was, as usual, the sort of the voice of, can we leave this room now, from these big sort of massive spiders, which felt very Silvo-ish. How'd you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
As always, I absolutely adored it. I cannot wait for the next one, which I think isn't too far away. I think it's only in a couple of weeks, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested to see where this nightmare mine goes. But yeah, one of the big problems I have at the moment is trying to role play Silvo's kind of. He is doing stuff in battle, but he doesn't know he's doing stuff in battle. But he feels like a bit of a spare wheel. Like, you've got Morthwheel with all these very offensive gadgets. You've got Brine, who's just a powerhouse. You've got Waves, who is just a proper cold-blooded assassin at times. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, all these people are very functional in battle, and he's just like, well, why am I here? Like, you guys got this. Like, there's this little bit of suddenly, especially because I didn't buy a crossbow last time because I wanted to sort of unfold and unpack this bit of his story. He is feeling a little bit like, well, I'm a bit useless. So there's elements of that coming out now, but because he doesn't know, he doesn't know what he's doing with his magic, so he doesn't know that it's actually coming out in different ways. But yeah. Absolutely wonderfully looking forward to playing in a couple of weeks. If you want to see more of my stupid voice and face, you can check me out on Friday 6 till 9 GMT over on twitch.tv/peripheral Mike, where I will be continuing my playthrough of Pokemon Blue on Game Boy. We are 3 gym leaders down and we have a few more to do, but it's an absolute nostalgia acid trip. It really is, and I'm absolutely loving it.
That's awesome. Awesome. And thank you, Mike. Good stuff today, as always. Moving right up the line, Saber, obviously, Mr. Whippy was the MVD, most valuable dragon. I think we can all agree. And was very, very useful in that fight for, as you say, not just blocking the floor, but also flame on. Although he's only down to 5 hit points now, although I know you can use mending and all that, but there's, he's at the moment. So there's that to consider, but obviously was very effective. And then you were also shooting with a firebolt. So you had some, great ideas that you were working with, and also figuring out like sort of what direction for everyone to go. You also ended up being the person who was one of the main faces talking to the guards, which was helpful to sort of calm everyone down. Your idea of having Waves imitate the voice of the person who had sent you down here in the first place was very important. And just to be clear, by the way, Copper Banks is not the same as the foreman. I just want to be clear about that. Two different people, in case anyone was curious. So you know about the one from the town council. That's the person who talked to you about the silver mine problem. But the foreman was the one who was like down here on the ground leading underneath her. And apparently may have been doing things that she didn't fully know about. We'll see. But in any case, so you had a lot of that, and now, no problem. You're just right now in the middle with Mr. Whippy all the way back while the skeletal thing moves towards your paladin. It should be fine. How'd you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Oh, I've missed this so much.
Same.
Really looking forward to getting back to go to Saltmarsh. And we've had Talisman, which has definitely been scratching the itch in the meantime. But this one we're in a we're in an interesting spot in both of them. We've got nightmares invading in the city in Talisman, and here we have teleporting spider caves and undead. And this was such a great session to come back to. Is like sitting on the dragon for as long as I have has been hard, but I think this was absolutely the perfect moment to break out a flame-throwing dragon cannon.
Yeah, and it's not a bad dragon, right? It looks kind of like a functional
he
dragon.
Only who well, in this case, point him at. Not a lot of flying control with this one.
Yes,
that's more of the bull.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so much stuff, and it's actually really good because I've had so many questions, that, especially like the thing with replicating Copperlox's voice. Had that about an hour after we finished the last stream, and I've been sitting on that this whole time going, I don't want to put it in Discord because I don't want to clue in the DM to what this idea is, so that you can try and counter it. It keeps him on the fly then as well.
Very true. Very true. That was a good call.
I've missed it. I've missed the group. It's always a good time. Everyone's been a lot of fun again tonight, as always, and you've been a great DM. It's been fantastic. And yeah, that bloody cave, I knew as soon as nothing came charging out of the cave on fire and screeching trying to get us, something was off. That room was too foreshadowed.
You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was expecting to hear like screechy spiders and like, falling off the ceiling and stuff, but nothing. It's like nothing. The most suspicious thing that could happen.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'll be back here tomorrow. Going to be my first stream with my new rig. Going to be playing some Hard Space Shipbreaker, just so that things don't, it should be easier to manage any potential tech problems and just gauge how it's going to be. But yeah, that's my plan.
Very good stuff.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Saber. Good work today. And again, thank you to you and Mike for Moobot Dashboard, all that kind of good stuff together collectively. Good luck with your self-aware PC. Last but certainly not least, Pyron, great job today with Waves as well. You, of course, took it on the chin, on the beak, I guess, as you were just hit with that thing. Because I knew the first time that one of you got hit by the combo of the piercing and the poison, you're going to be like, good God almighty, like these things are strong once they actually hit you, but they're not particularly AC based, and they certainly were not able to handle some other stuff. So you had that going on, but then that, and of course the stuff with the guards being able to imitate the voice is always a big thing. I really love the idea of Waves being a portable sound bird. I'm just gonna sound wave. I'm just gonna hang on to that concept in my mind because I love the visual. But you did that, and then of course in combat you did do some major damage to it. Like you opened up, missed in all of this is the fact that you had a major hit right off from the beginning. It was just after that everything went to hell with the things winking out and like all this other stuff. But in the end, it was fine. You survived. It was okay. You were fine. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Currently, Waves is really happy that nobody mentioned that she gave the room a clear with a thumbs up.
It was for a moment.
Yeah, there was nothing in there that could have worried us at all. So, yeah, I liked it, and I'm quite happy that the spiders actually got 2 waves, because I think I still have like more hit points than Silvo in total, so that could have gone the other way if they had bitten Silvo. So yeah, we'll see about that. I was missing this session as well, and I'm really happy that they are back, and I hope I don't die. So,
I think we all hope that.
I also hope that, yeah.
And yeah, I'm currently like really busy in real life, so I don't think I'll be be seen anywhere outside of our RPG streams. But I think we have a date for the next Talisman stream as well already, don't we?
I think so. I haven't actually entered in my calendar yet, but I believe soon, TM. Yes.
So maybe on one of Saber's wonderful multiplayer streams that he has on his channel on Saturdays that you should totally check out. But apart from that, you will have to wait until our next RPG session.
It's going to be good times. I'm excited for that. And as I mentioned, Chad, for those of you who missed it earlier on, stay tuned because this crew and myself will have announcements about things coming up in the future that may be related to this group. We have plans afoot. So, and they don't involve Clockwork Dragons.
The ship is out!
Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much to the wonderful crew. Everybody feel better. That's an order. All of you feel better immediately. Chat, can we get some love for the amazing GOG crew of Pyron Jade, of Peripheral Mike, of Darksaber 2K, and of Inanda. So much great stuff. Thank you all. I will see you folks here next month for more awesomeness with Saltmarsh, and also for 3 of you, Talisman Adventures as well. Bye for now.
Take care. Bye.
See you next time, everyone.
All right. And yes, Talisman next Tuesday. That's right. I have to look through it, as I say, put that in my calendar. And I'll try to, I might try to do some of that. I have a little bit of work I have to do this evening. But then after that, I will try to put in that information because that would be useful, he said. But this was great, and I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. Really fun day of streaming. We finished up with, on my channel, we finished up with Shire Adventures, which is now wrapped up, and the series has come to an end, which is bittersweet. But I should mention, for those of you, I think I mentioned this here already, but we have a new campaign, the Beowulf campaign, that is going to be doing our Session 0 next month in December, and then we'll be sort of officially, in quotes, launching in January over on my channel. So if you like that kind of thing and Nordic sagas and stuff like that, you should definitely stop by and check it out. Otherwise, as far as we're concerned here, we'll be playing Talisman Adventures here next Tuesday, and then after that, going forward, because Shire Adventures has been changed, by the way, or is now over, I will not be doing any more 12 to 3 GOG streams for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be back to my usual 4 to 7 p.m. or on RPG days, 4:15 to 7:15 p.m. Eastern slot, which is the normal Tuesday. So I'll be doing that going forward. So next Tuesday, we've got Talisman Adventures, and then I have to check Saltmarsh in 2 weeks. So I think, yeah, so we have Talisman next week. We have Saltmarsh in 2 weeks. And then 3 weeks from now, we will be finishing up with Solasta Palace of Ice DLC. That should be finished that Tuesday, and if not, then it will be finished thereafter. So Tuesday the 5th for Talisman, Tuesday the 12th for Saltmarsh, Tuesday the 19th will be the conclusion of Solasta Palace of Ice, and Tuesday the 26th, the day after Christmas, is when we will be doing our, should be starting out with Tintin, Cigars of the Pharaoh, assuming that it's working, I hope, and then we will move on from there. So that is our plan. If you liked what you saw and heard today, please follow the channel. Please check out as well and subscribe to us here on GOG.com's Twitch channel, because that helps all of us equally, and we really appreciate that. And if you haven't done so already, please consider clicking through and checking out our individual channels, because we have our own individual Patreons and subsystems, and I run 3 other campaigns over on my channel. We also have the community D&D on my channel, which is going to be launching soon as well. So we're going to have Beowulf over there, community D&D over there. We're going to have Eberron, Oracle of War over there, and we're going to have Expedition for the Mysterious Peaks over there, plus Talisman Adventures and Ghosts of Saltmarsh here, and then when Talisman Adventures finishes, then it'll be just Ghosts of Saltmarsh over here. So if you want more D&D, you definitely should do that. Oh, thank you, Prince Justin. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. It helps when I have amazing players, which I do with all of my campaigns, and a great chat, which is the case with all of you. And please spread the word. You know, for all of you who come to these, we always are sitting around 60, 65, sometimes more than that. Some of that comes, a lot of you are there for, a lot of you are supportive for this, of all of my Pen and Pixel streams, which is awesome. But a lot of you come for this tabletop, and every time we do this, we're always top 5 tabletop streams on Twitch when you're here doing this. So spread the word. Let's make this a thing where the more the merrier, and it gets bigger and bigger. That would be amazing for all concerned. And lastly, can I just say thank you to not only GOG.com, but also the stream team, originally Outstar, but also now, obviously, from many years, Pyron Jade is the team leader along with all of the crew, because this is episode 400. I have now finished 400 episodes of Pen and Pixels, which is a long time. That means at least 7 or 8 years or something like that of streaming on GOG, which has been amazing. And it's been great just to be a part of this mix and to be with all of these amazing people and good friends. So thank you all for being a part of that. It has been a pleasure, and I'm excited to see what happens coming from here. That's going to do it for me. I will see you back here I'll see you on my own channel on Friday with probably some Starfield, and then I'll be back here next Tuesday with Talisman Adventures for episode 401 of Pen and Pixels. Kilgore Trout is going to be coming at you later on today with some of the Uncharted series. I played and won Uncharted 1 and 2. I like both of those. I'm looking forward to playing Uncharted 3 at some point in the future, so definitely check that out because Kilgore is going to be playing some of that this evening. But that's it for me. Thanks everyone so much. As I always say, please make sure to be good for each other and with each other, and I will see you folks soon, either on my channel or back here next Tuesday for episode 401 of Pen and Pixels. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other, and thanks to my wonderful players, Pyron, Darksaber2K, Peripheral Mike, and Ananda. See you all soon, and have a good night.